You are now listening to Click Click Play. Please enjoy.
Fight!
Hello, welcome to a very new look Click Click Play episode 123. Oh boy, I am Biggest Bennett, joined as always by the one, the only. Well, not as always. It's been a while since I've had her on here, but I'm just used to saying that because Jordan is not here. He's engaged, let's say. ThatFlightyBroad is here. Flighty. We can't hear you, but great. We can pretend she's saying, "Oh, I've got real itchy leg now. I'm just giving it a good old scratch." Yeah, I think she's saying that. Are you saying that, Flighty? Yeah. Okay. Hello, JohnJohn is here as well. JohnJohn.
Hello.
Oh, now we hear JohnJohn. So I feel like it's Women's History Month, and the only female we've got on the stream has been silenced, but she silenced herself.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh,
How many podcasts is that, Flighty? We've done. I think every single time we do a podcast, this happens.
Oh yeah. I'm a girl. I'm too pretty to know technology. Too pretty.
We know. How are you doing anyway, Flighty? You just got up, didn't you?
I did. I just got up like 20 minutes ago, maybe, just for you, baby.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us, Flighty. But anyway, yeah,
I
this
love
is
that for you.
yeah. Wow. What time is it where you are, Flighty?
It is 1:11 p.m.
Ah, yeah, that's
way too early.
yeah, it's a Sunday. It is a Sunday.
Mhm.
But yeah, let me just remind myself to turn off the. I did a lot of things. One thing I didn't do is turn off the sound effects on in the chat, which is great. Very professional streamer.
Whoops.
It might be a new look stream, but it's definitely still got the old kinks.
Old kinks.
Yeah. Well, we don't call Flighty that. Anyway, Flighty, how have you been? It's been a while.
It has been a while. I took like 4 or so months off. I don't remember why. For a good reason, I'm sure. I've been putting a lot more of a concerted effort into my YouTube channel, trying to get some more playthroughs up there and playing a lot of indie demos, and just kind of doing the flighty thing.
Nice. Well, that's always the best thing to
I
do.
love
Yeah. Oh, it's good. I'm glad you're okay though.
Thank you.
And we are joined as by royalty, Twitch royalty, the one, the only, JohnJohn.
I'm sorry. Why would you say Twitch royalty?
You're an enigma.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'll take that. I hope a nice enigma, not a bad one.
No, a good one. Definitely a good one.
Oh,
The biggest bottom on Twitch. Anyway.
there it is.
He was waiting.
It took longer than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, okay, how's he gonna start this? He's just gonna jump right into my preferences here.
Anyway, John, how have you been? Who are you? Why should people know you?
They shouldn't. Let's be straight about that. They shouldn't know me. This is my first time on. I'm really excited. to be here. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. I'm one of the co-founders of the Rainbow Arcade, which is an LGBTQIA plus stream team here, which you are very familiar with there, Benjamin.
Oh yes, I am.
That's it. That's the tweet. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, he is. You are. Is it your team leader or is it an admin or what's your official title in Rainbow Arcade?
Justin and I started it together, so we're both the founders.
Nice.
Mhm.
Oh, I told you, absolute royalty here. But yeah, anyway, so this is Click Click Play. We're totally different. Jordan's not here. He will be back though next week, I'm afraid. Although it may not be, because I'm trying to arrange next week to be a Women's History Month type thing. So not even with me on it. It'll be the first ever time it gets presented by no men on Click Click Play. But that's in the works at the moment. But yeah, anyway, I'm trying to make it so that every week it's just a different topic where we discuss things, especially if something's come up in the news or if anything's come up recently, such as I think, I mean, remember there was Ninja. He did his little chat the other day about how, you've got to get angry if you lose games. That would have been a good topic. But because it's the first time that we set out for with the new look and the new style, we're going to go with how to start building viewers as a streamer. When you start, with your 0 viewers, I did that for quite a few weeks. 0 to 3 viewers, how do you get and break that into the 5 to 10 and beyond? But first, before that, we're going to talk about games. Games. As always. Not as long as last time. We won't have Jordan droning on for an hour and a half as usual. We're just going to quickly say what see what we've been playing and yeah. Well, Flighty, what have you been playing?
Oh gosh, I've been playing a lot of indie stuff lately. One of my favorite series, I guess, that I've been playing has been called Off Peak. Off Peak is for free on Steam. So if you like weird, surrealistic kind of story games, I'd strongly recommend checking it out. They are weird. They are very weird. So if you're not into surrealism, they're probably not going to be for you. But they're very I don't even know how to describe them. They're colorful and they're very music centric. And speaking of music, the soundtrack is fucking slapping. It is amazing, especially if you like jazz, which is definitely my jam.
Ooh. That sounds interesting. And what
yeah,
it's just a story-based game.
Yes, it is. The first one is kind of like the story is very subtle, and it kind of like reveals itself to you very slowly. The second one is Tales from Off Peak City, and that one just kind of like throws you into this story where you inherit like a pizza joint, and they actually have like a pizza making mechanic, so you like roll out dough and like put sauce and toppings and shit all up in there and put it in an oven, and then you like deliver it to different places, and that's how you like get the story, is by delivering pizza. And it's just gorgeous. I strongly recommend it.
Sounds really good. I've when you mentioned jazz, have you seen there's like a furry game? I don't know if any of you two are into it, but it's come out and it's on PS4. It's also on Steam, where you're like a detective, but you're playing as a cat, like a real mean looking cat. And I've
seen that.
I saw somebody. It's on offer right now, but I saw somebody playing it and was like, that looks interesting. Not really. It kind of creeps me out looking at it.
And you're going to definitely be playing it.
I'll probably be playing. You know what? It's called Black Sad. Have you heard of Black Sad?
I have.
Yeah, but it's like a crime noir game, but set with animals as humans. It's very. I'm sure people get off on that type of thing.
I'm sure Dagon is gonna love it.
Yeah, Dagon will love it.
Exactly where my mind went. Exactly. I was like, does he know about this? Let's talk.
He can deny it all he likes.
He's moved away from denying it now, and it's just like, maybe that's the thing.
Yeah.
And we're all like,
We just need to keep poking the beast.
As we've said on previous podcasts, we don't mock people's kinks, but we will laugh and maybe throw up. That's depends how gruesome it is.
I mean, if you want to throw up, I could just start talking about my weekend and then go from there.
What happened in your weekend?
There's been a lot of hosting parties.
Oh, keys in the bowl type parties.
Yes.
Wow.
Although when you host things like that, you have to you can barely play. You have to kind of monitor things. So
don't steal the candles. Yeah.
I do. Yeah, and don't put them places, I want those candles when we're done here. I don't want to have to throw them away, please.
Don't ruin the wick. Oh, wow. So is that why you woke up at 1 o'clock?
Yes.
Nice. That sounds like a good party. What were you drinking?
Nothing.
Oh,
nothing
wow.
at all.
Sober.
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. When you're in charge, you gotta. I take that shit seriously. And if somebody acts a fool, that's when I'm in true form right there.
Mm.
Although nobody ever does at my parties because I have really good taste in people.
Oh.
Wow, good taste in people and a hydrating queen. You love to see it.
Speaking of great taste in people, JohnJohn, what have you been playing?
I've lost my entire life to Stardew Valley.
I've seen.
Reasonable.
Yes, I'm trying my hardest. So I'm big on story games. So we're doing Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which is the sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, which I played early last year and fell in love with because it's a cute little platformer moment, and I really enjoy that there is a level of difficulty to it, and the art is gorgeous. And then when The Will of the Wisps came out, I was reading reviews about it, and it was just how everything from Ori and the Blind Forest was just elevated and just taken to an entirely next level. So I've been playing that, but really I've been itching to just live in Stardew Valley, which is completely the opposite of anything that I've ever been into before. So it's been an adventure, we'll call it that. I played Stardew once on stream as like a sub goal, and I played it and I was like, I just kept picking up things off the ground and handing it to people and being like, do you love me yet? Yes or no?
It's like me in real life.
Literally, I'm like, oh, here's this rock. Do you love me yet? Let me know. Like my status, if you like my status. So, but this time I started on stream and I had a bunch of people who were very comfortable backseating me, which I know is something obviously very new for me, backseating. And I
often on the back
once
seat.
I learned, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Once I learned how to play Stardew and like what I should be doing, what I should be focusing my energies on, I was like, oh, okay, this is cute, this is fun. And then I like blinked and it was like 6 hours later, and I was like, it's a Wednesday, I have to go to work tomorrow.
They're the best games. I love those type of games where you just.
And I never liked them before, but this time I'm like, okay, I've got my blueberry crops, I've got my cranberries, I gotta go. Like, that's not me at all.
Are you itching to play? Have you
I'm
got
gonna do the best at the community fair this year.
I got second at the community fair yesterday. I am very upset. I thought about restarting my save, but we're not. We're not going. We're not doing that. So.
Are you playing on the Switch or
What's that
PC?
grocery store guy?
No, I'm playing on PC because I'm using mods, but nothing that changes the game. Just things that kind of help me to keep track of some stuff.
Nothing that helps you win the community fair.
Clearly not. I mean, I came in second. He's like, here's all your coins. You came in second. I was like, I'm coming for you, Lewis.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you.
Who are you after anyway in the game? Because are you romancing them all, or are you going after somebody in particular?
I haven't decided yet. I am sticking kind of towards Alex or Sam. I have a male character, and I'm only going to be romancing men because
not enough games allow
here.
that.
No reason.
Right, not a lot. Right, for no reason. Not a lot of games allow me to explore that side of myself that I've never explored before. So here I am, trying to never, not once. So we're giving it a shot on both of them. But then also I've been watching a couple of other streamers play it, and that's kind of what hooked me to get back into it or give it a real shot. And they're like, oh, I'm dating 4 people right now. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait to live my whole fantasy in Stardew Valley, both on my farm and off my farm.
Absolutely.
Are you from like a farming place?
No. I grew up outside of New York City. So that whole lifestyle, like a lot of my coworkers live in like less populated areas, so like houses are surrounded by woods and things, and that horrifies me. I am convinced that all wooded areas that surround houses, if you can't see the house next to you, they are just full of clowns that are ready to murder you.
Redneck torture families.
Fully. It's my biggest fear. My friend, I live in Maryland, and I have a couple friends in Pennsylvania because we're close to the border, and my work is kind of in the middle. And they're like, "Oh, you should come up and you should hang out." And I was like, "No, I don't want to die. I can't do that."
See, I'm the I grew up pretty much in the middle of nowhere. I lived in a village kind of near a town, and in my family I was like the city dweller because living in a town, because they all lived like on a farm. All my family grew up, they were farmers. All my uncles are farmers. My mother was a teacher. Gosh, she had no interest whatsoever, I think, in running a farm. But like every time I went back to my grandparents, it was just like the best weekend ever was when I went and visited my grandparents. So like 30 minutes away, so couldn't go there after school or anything. It was just on like an inset day or a training day for teachers, and just going there and being able to run around the farm, would go as far as I could walk, and it would be and just like discovering things. Oh, it was amazing. And in fact, the farm, because my grandfather, he passed away, but the farmers that like my uncles have now started doing other jobs, so they've been selling the farm. And apparently like the big barn area where I used to climb up all the grain, which thinking about it was really, really unsafe at the time, but there was different times in them days. But like that's all gone, and now there's another. They've like built some houses there, and my mum was like, "Hey, do you want to come back?" Because my grandmother's now in a care home, so they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go and sort some stuff out. Do you want to come with me?" And I was like, "No, I really don't. I like having it in my memory." I wasn't gonna help her because she wants to go through her parents' stuff, really. But I was like, "No, I don't want to go. I want to keep my memories as they were. It's just this really fun farmyard place to run around, which is great."
Cute. I was driving on my drive to work when I actually go into the office. I take all back roads, which does take me through some farm country.
Doesn't sound like you.
No, I'm surprised again. I'm taking a long leisurely stroll through the back roads. I passed a farm, and I also work with my sister. We work in the same office, and she was driving, and I whipped out my phone and took a picture of it, and I was like, let me go knock on these people's doors, show them my virtual farm after 3 days, and let them know exactly what they're doing wrong. I don't see any strawberries. It's spring. What are you doing?
Should only take 18 days to grow that apple tree, ma'am.
Absolutely, ma'am. What are you doing? Get it together. What do you mean you don't have help? I don't have help on Stardew either, but I can do it, so can you.
Can you die in the game?
You can pass out from exhaustion.
I think I did that once. But I mean, is there a cave where you go, and I've heard there's like a cave or something where you fight people or fight things.
Mine, yeah. The mine has some creatures in it that can hurt you, and then if you lose all your health, you pass out. Or if you just overexert yourself, you pass out. You don't ever die. Someone comes and rescues you, but also magically a bunch of your stuff disappears too. So it's like, did you frisk me before you woke me up? What's the tea, Mary? What did you do to my body while it waited?
And then they charge you after they're done stealing your wallet. So
wow,
that whole town is fucked. Like it's some kind of like hot fuzz situation. Like
yeah. What's the end game? It's really spooky. Yeah, the act 2 is just crazy. John Moy says, John, you're really good in the mines. I don't know if that's a euphemism or not.
Dealer's choice at this point. It could be, it couldn't be. I'm fine either way. But I'm only good in the mines because I got really lucky on one day and I got a really good sword drop. So now I just run around just waving it around like I do in real life. My giant sword. Here it comes.
Really? Yeah, apparently so you've got John Moy into it. He's really loving it. And do you know what was really scary? Is like, well, not scary, but weird. You went and streamed it, and literally that morning, I was thinking, I don't really know what to play. And I was so tempted to start Stardew Valley, but then I was like, I've started it 3 times. I can't start it a 4th time. If I do that beginning bit one more time, it's going to just drive me insane. So I ended up playing. I think I ended up making the Sims character that started building the Sims house for Biggest Brother 2. So,
I love that. I'm a Big Brother fan. But the real tea here is that I'm secretly a witch, and not so secretly. I talk about it very loudly. So the real
witch
question
with a
is,
W, yeah.
The real question here is, did I start playing Stardew Valley because you thought about Stardew Valley? Or did I plant the idea for you to play Stardew Valley in your head?
I got the idea from because I think literally the day before I saw either Lita maybe playing it, and then Lita normally just plays Lita Games, who I need to message her, and I'd love to get her on this podcast sometime. But
she'd be great.
She would be. She's amazing. But she normally does Monster Hunter World, or she sticks with a game for quite a long time. And then one time she was doing Stardew Valley, and it was just, I think I was watching her, and I want to say Cafe Ella, was she doing it? Does she do it? Yeah. I'm trying to think who I've been watching play it, and then I was like, seeing everybody really enjoy it made me want to play it. But then I thought, nope, Animal Crossing's coming out soon, so I'll play my boring games when that comes out. So.
I think that Stardew is going to ruin Animal Crossing for me. I've never played Animal Crossing. This is going to be my first one. I'm definitely going to give it a shot. But the week right before I started playing Stardew, I was basically only watching. My stream schedule is Psyche, Cafe Ella, and then you.
Hmm.
Most days while I'm at work, and then
Aw.
it's funny because it's Stardew Valley, and then whatever you're playing to switch it up.
It's
So
quite different
for
from
like a
all of
week straight, I was like, they're having so much fun. I don't understand why I didn't like this game the first time I played it. I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna make them all take my dandelions every single time I offer them to them. That's what I realized I was doing wrong the first time I played it. I was walking up to people and basically handing them trash and being like, do you like this? Do you love me yet? Yes? No?
And what did they say?
What do you think? Of course they love me.
Got
Surprise.
trash.
I broke
Oh.
the game. I got 10 hearts on the first round.
Oh. Also says he's been doing
He's a
very well in
dandelion.
Stardew and he's enjoying it way more than I expected him to. Oh,
Mhm.
how encouraging.
It is nothing I've ever liked before, and I love it. I
Yeah.
love it, love it. Like there was when Ori and the Will of the Wisps came out, I was playing Stardew the 4 days that led up to it, and I was like, all right, when Ori drops tomorrow, we're playing Ori. And all day at Wednesday while I was at work, I was like, but do we have to? Can I just get more Stardew, please? But I committed.
Yeah, that's like maybe I don't know if for another topic or today, but I'm one of those people that's like every time I commit to a game, 2 minutes later I'll go, oh, actually I kind of fancy playing something different. I don't know if it's me committing to a game makes me want to go and play a different game. If it's something in my brain that stops me wanting to play it, but yeah, now I don't ever say what game I'm going to play unless it's like a real scheduled one or like a brand new game that's coming out. Bailey says, I kind of had the impression it was the same sort of people, gays, who played Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. Am I wrong? Oh, no, you're right. Shirtlifters love.
Absolutely correct. I think from what I understand about Animal Crossing, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's a lot more of a social aspect in Animal Crossing than there is in Stardew Valley. I'm mostly just on my farm, getting all my watering done, petting my chickens, petting my cows, living my little farm fantasy over there. And I haven't even really spoken to anybody in the town unless they have something to offer me. Oh, I can buy seed from you? All right, hand it over. But I don't care about what you need in your life. That's not here. No.
I've absolutely accidentally missed festivals because I was so busy on my farm, and it's like, oh shit. I could have gotten a super awesome item for my farm.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, I look at the TV and it's like, oh, this farm is tomorrow, or this festival's tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, let me check the wiki and see if I can get anything out of this. Because if not, I'm going to the mines. I don't give a shit about these people.
Fuck your Christmas.
Fuck your Christmas. I don't care. Mom's got a harvest. Let's go.
Have you played any of the multiplayer yet?
No.
Because apparently there's that.
I'm selfish. I'm like, I'm gonna do it all.
Yeah.
I had to stop my playthrough of Stardew Valley because I was getting very frustrated with flirting with the green-haired gal. So I seduced the doctor because he reminds me of both my husband and my boyfriend, kind of a dark-haired, nerdy type. So we got married, and then one day my character got pregnant, and I was like, "Oh, we're done here." Oh no, no, ma'am.
I didn't realize you could get
Everything
pregnant.
I've seen. Yeah, you can have kids, and everything I've seen about it, where people are like, "I really love Stardew Valley," and then I accidentally had a child with my partner, and that shit sucks. But apparently, you can just nicely send them away. I don't know.
Yeah, you could send them off to whatever children's home, orphanage.
Did you do that, Flighty?
Boarding school. My character has yet to give birth. I'm too scared to open up that safe.
What if it's going to be like a very, very graphic, like pixel art birthing? Like, could you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
That was the Easter egg that made Stardew rated like M for mature.
That's the Doki Doki twist.
I would be down for that, honestly. Like, if you're gonna give me like a crap mechanic, like being a parent, like give me something awesome to go with it. Like I would love to see like a beautifully animated, like pixel art birthing.
Brilliant. Well,
I, on the other hand, that's the moment where I just delete Stardew entirely because
Forever.
also my partners will always be male. So if I get a beautiful birthing scene, I have questions and I don't want the answers to those questions.
You don't want to see that birthing. Ooh.
I don't
You don't
need,
wanna-
I don't want, I don't, no ma'am.
You're not into that mpreg thing.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
How about you, Flighty? Have you played any other games, Flighty?
I have one of my favorite indie games, an indie alpha that I played is called Strobophagia. It's a rave horror game, horror game.
She said whore, and I was like, oh, excuse me.
Right, a rave horror game.
Horror game.
It's a game about me.
Right, exactly. what I'm getting at. That's so weird.
John was like, "Ooh, what's that?"
And it's so unique in that, like, you know, most indie horror games are, you know, kind of the same, like red equals scary, and you know, like you know, the atmosphere is really creepy, and like, you know, the grays everywhere. But no, this one is like all neon. Like pink is the most terrifying color in that game. I won't spoil why, but it absolutely is. It has 2 endings and I think for an alpha, that's really fucking great. It just shows me that they're making a lot of progress. And you're basically trying to complete these kind of like bacchanalian rites. And you, at some point, you get chased by a monster in the darkness of the woods, and it like doesn't like the light. So, you know,
Sounds
if
a
this
lot like
thing
Ben.
How dare you?
Every time I was running, I was like, Ben, stop.
What was the name of
Like,
this
why
game
is it
again?
so familiar?
What's that, Ben?
What was the name again?
Strobophagia.
Strobo.
Oh
dear.
Strobo. Yes, there we go.
Strobo.
It is a free-to-play alpha right now. There are some alpha problems, but they're constantly working on it. There's also a multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
Where you play as like 2 monsters and you're trying to kill each other or something. I don't know. I haven't tried, and the fan base for Strobophagia is so small that it's kind of hard to queue up an instance with other people.
John Moy says when he watched your gameplay, he got scared.
Yeah, there are some really, really creepy parts. And it's not, there aren't really any jump scares either. It's all like a very like slow, like really well-crafted build-up. And like, you know, you're hanging out with a bunch of rave buddies, and you know, you carry glow sticks around. Everybody's wearing these crazy ass neon bodysuits. I felt very at home when I was playing.
Looks awesome. And that's Itch.io game.
Yes.
Nice. Looks very cool. I like the look of it. I will keep that on my on a tab. I've been playing some very mask for mask games today. This week.
Yeah, I don't know are you feeling okay?
Yeah, weird.
Feeling myself right now. I was playing Division 2 season came out, so I've been killing all the people and that in Division 2, which is still a lot of fun. The seasons are now out, because like literally on the same day, Call of Duty Battle Royale came out, the Division season started, there was also a new season for Destiny that started, and something else came out as well, and I can't remember what it was, but yeah, all those 4 things, and I was like, oh, gonna have to choose some. So Destiny 2 is on the shelf right now, and I'm gonna be just, I think, trying to kind of level up in Division, because they've got all these events happening, and I mean, the game's still a lot of fun. I still love that. It's a great co-op game as well. There's quite a lot of people that played it, and especially when the game was $3, a lot of people got it, so plenty of people to play with. Really enjoying that. Then the Call of Duty Battle Royale came out. Are you any of you Battle Royale fans? I don't think I've ever seen JohnJohn play it. A Battle Royale?
No, you had me at big, and then you lost me at Battle Royale.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I just like the tension. Like, I played horror games, but to me, the end game of a Battle Royale game is like the scariest, or at least it's the most anxious you feel, because you just, you know that there's 2 other people elsewhere or 2 other teams, but the circle's really small, and you're trying to work out from the sound clues where they are. And this game, I mean, this is the ultimate battle royale. Really, it's 150 people at the moment. I think it's going to go up to 200. Teams of 3. So obviously you get matched. I think it's about 50 to 60 teams you get put with because there's some like solo players. And yeah, it's Call of Duty Battle Royale. It's what you can expect, but it's a lot of fun. If you're looking for one to play with, that's the one I think to go for. And now it's free to play, so anybody can join. But yeah, it's still Call of Duty.
So you recommend that over? Oh, geez, I can't even remember what other battle royales there are now.
Fortnite.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, better than Fortnite. Better than PUBG.
Oh, ew.
Better than
TiVo.
H1Z1. Realm Royale.
They
Oh,
all just,
Ring of
I
Elysium.
get it. They're all the same to me in my head. You just have to make sure you're trying to survive, and then this ring is closing in around you that forces you all together.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, having played one once, I think if you play one, you played them all. But I'm sure there are intricacies that make you want to play, like you just recommended the Call of Duty one. Why would you say Call of Duty over Fortnite, for example? Because I think you've played both.
Yeah, no, I played quite a lot of Fortnite. I maxed out a battle pass a couple of times. Fortnite's great, actually. It's a lot of fun. If I had loads of friends that played it, I probably would. It's just, I played a lot of that, so I'm ready to move on. But Call of Duty is just, it's a first-person shooter, whereas Fortnite's third-person. And by playing the main game, you can create these loadouts that you can then call in the Battle Royale, so you get a bit of an advantage. And like, yeah, it's very, like the Call of Duty one is very free of glitches, whereas other ones, especially PUBG and stuff, it just looks nasty, whereas this looks gorgeous. You can go and like you can use all these incredibly realistic weapons in these buildings that you can like pretty much enter every building. It's just a very, and like the thing I like about battle royales is that every match you have is like a story. You're going to start in a different place. You're going to end up going and fighting different people, and you'll finish you might finish straight away, or you might spend 20-25 minutes before you die or before you win. But there's always, you're kind of creating your own story as you're playing it, which is a bit like Death Stranding for me. Like I was working out when I was playing Death Stranding, I'm like, okay, I need to go from this place to this place. I've got to prepare myself, make sure I've got all the things, the requirements. I could go this way, I could take the road the long way and make it a bit easier, or I could go and sneak up here. And there were so many options. And then once you planned your journey, you're just going up there. You're encountering things on the way that are unexpected. And that's pretty much what a battle royale is. And that's why I like it. Just a different story every time you play it.
See, I've never had anyone explain it to me like that, so that I could understand more and that I can get on board for. Having only experienced very little of it, from such a far away vantage point, it all looks the same to me.
Yeah.
But now that you've explained it, where it's you kind of relate it back to something a little bit more that I like, which is a story, right?
Yeah.
So you're changing the way that you're playing it every time. It's different every time. That is something that would interest me more.
And as you get to play with, because pretty much all the time you're playing with friends. Like I've played Fortnite solo a lot, and it's good for like me improving my ability, but I don't remember any of those matches unless I got really close to the end. I've never won a solo battle royale game in the hundreds of hours I've played of them. But I play most of them co-op or like in twos, in duos, or in groups of 3 or in groups of 4. But like, so when you're playing with friends as well, and they're like, "Hey, go! I've got this for you. I've got this. Oh, let's go over here, and I'm over here. Can you watch me in case?" And actually, yesterday, Andinis and I, he says he doesn't enjoy. Was it Andinis? I think I think I was playing with Andinis. No, it wasn't Andinis. I was playing with somebody, but I think it was Noodle. He got like a bounty on his head, so people can find. No, but I'm trying to think who the third one was, Andinis, because it was me, Noodle, and somebody. God, who was it? But yeah, he had a bounty on his head. So, but he didn't realize that people can see him, but they can't see us. So he went, oh yeah, it was Mellerman Schletten. Sorry, Mellerman Schletten. Yeah, Schletten had the bounty on his head, and he was quite new to the game, so he didn't realize that everybody could see him, but they couldn't see me and Mellum. So Mellum and I, we were up like so I said to Schletten, I was like, okay, you go down there, go into this building, and Mellum and I will stand up this hill with our sniper rifles, and then you go and just, mess around in there. And lo and behold, he went in there, and a team we watched them like slowly creep up the stairs to go where Schletten was to kill him and get the bounty, and we just picked them off and killed them. And it's just like moments like that you're building yourself, made it so much fun, and I really, really enjoyed that. But I can only manage like 2 or 3 hours. After 2 or 3 hours, then I'm ready to change game. But it was, yeah, moments like that. That's what make it really. It's not the actual game itself necessarily.
So it's more about like the people you play with in that case.
Yeah, and
like,
using your tactics.
Yeah, and like if you're with a team, like I loved playing PUBG with you and Mellum that one time. What was it, like 2 years ago or something like that? That was the best fun I've ever had. Because I just watched you two like fuck around, and for once I was like, I don't know, the mom of the team who was just trying to herd her children.
I remember that. We got a win, didn't we? Mellum, I think, carried us to a win.
Yeah, Mellum did that shit. He carried the two of us.
I think that was during our first ever 24-hour stream when Mellum and I did it. Yeah, how we did that after all that, it's shocking. Bailey says, I don't get the hate against battle royales. Most shooters also use the same maps, but every game feels different. Yeah, no, and I played like 40. I got to level 40 in Call of Duty, just the multiplayer. I love the one thing I do like about Call of Duty is they'll give you loads of stuff to do. It's like, okay, get 5 kills with this, and you get 6 kills by this, and complete this map 3 times or whatever, and will give you this cool looking gun. And you're always upgrading your weapon. You're upgrading your character, but you're upgrading your weapons, and you're unlocking different things that you can try out. It's a lot. I like that, but yeah, there's a certain limit for me to play it. Also says, I feel very much the same way about Final Fantasy 14 that you just said you felt about battle royale games. Could run the same dungeon 100 times, but each time feels different depending on the party I'm playing with. Sure, I mean, I don't know, I'm a little less like that because Final Fantasy 14 is quite a linear, you start one place and then you finish at the end. Most of the time I get put with people that I don't know. So it just all feels the same to me. But I imagine it will be different if you're playing with friends and over voice chat and that.
It's definitely different.
Yeah. Other game I've been playing, Neo 2. You might have seen me play that a little bit before this podcast. I faced the ultimate. Yeah, I was facing a really tough boss then. I was quite glad to take a little break from it. But it's Dark Souls, Samurai Dark Souls. And it's pretty much that. But it's brilliant. Kill lots of people.
Didn't you say that you played for like a couple of hours and didn't even get past the first kind of boss or anything?
Yeah, there was the
other day when you first started.
Yeah, so the levels are quite long, and they've got and at the end of it they'll have a big boss. I'm pretty much what I'm facing at the moment is the end. Is the level 2 main boss. And I'm trying to do it at the moment not by summoning anybody, because you can get. So there's these random graves everywhere. There's the red graves and the blue graves, and I'm pretty sure in Neo 1 they didn't have the blue graves. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. And the blue ones, you use this consumable that you get, and you can summon like the spirit of somebody to fight alongside you, or you can actually go to a shrine and summon somebody, a real person, to come and help you. And then you can actually set it so you can summon a friend in, because there'll be like a password protection, or it can just be a randomer. And they'll come in and they can go and help you. But I'm trying not to do that. So I'm just doing it really slowly, grinding a lot, because it's a bit like Dark Souls where you gain XP to level up. And if you die, then you lose all that XP. However, if you go back to the place where you died, you can go and like collect that XP. So as long as you're like not going backwards, you're not really punished. I did lose a lot of XP earlier today when I fell off from a high place because of damn holes in the floors everywhere. But yeah, now I'm facing a really big boss, and I mean, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it because I think Jordan and I will be probably talking about it next week. But it's more of Neo, and that's exactly what I wanted. It's rewarding, and this time as well, I've found that the shrines, so like the save points or the respawn points, are pretty close to the main bosses. So I really appreciate that, because I'm somebody that if I have to go and get through 10 enemies before going and attempting a boss for a second time, who I maybe got to like 90 or 10% off their health last time, I'm just going to give up probably. So the fact that the shrine's right next to it, that's one of the reasons why I loved Celeste. I was dying all the time, but because it respawned me right instantly in the same like screen, I didn't mind going and doing it again and again and again.
Oh, I loved Celeste.
Yes.
That was a great recommendation, Ben.
Oh, I'm glad. I think Flighty, you played it. Yeah, you did. You finished it with fewer deaths than me, didn't you, Flighty? Or was that Mega?
Yes, I
Oh,
did.
it was. Oh, yeah, both of you did, I think.
How many deaths did you end up with?
Oh, Jesus. Well into the thousands.
Yeah,
Well,
I finished
well,
like 1,700 and something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was,
yeah.
Worth it though.
Yeah.
I really like before I played Celeste, hated side scrollers. They just were not rewarding to me. I get very easily frustrated, especially when a game is so well crafted that everything that goes wrong is my fault.
Mhm.
Celeste did that very differently for me. The story, the art, it also lets you cheat in like really specific ways, so you can kind of like get rid of some of the more frustrating aspects for yourself. I just really enjoyed that kind of accessibility.
Yeah.
And it kind of like got me more interested in things like, Ori and the Blind Forest and more difficult side scrollers like that. So
Have you played Hollow Knight?
I haven't, but I do have I have it like chilling in my Steam library, and I really need to get to it.
If you want something that is going to be a platformer and be difficult, but not hand you the story and kind of force you to go out and seek it out by really just exploring, I recommend. Hollow Knight is incredible, but it also is hard.
See, I didn't like Hollow Knight.
I mean,
Really?
I tried.
I'm
yeah.
into hard stuff, so.
Oh, you and me both. You and me both, gal.
Yeah, I didn't like Hollow Knight. I just couldn't get it. I don't know if it's the aesthetic or it. I think I was playing after playing Celeste, where it was just 8 directions and you knew how far you would go each time. Having the freedom of Hollow Knight, of them bouncing and like you could move in midair and stuff, it was it required a little bit more skill. Too much skill. More skill than I had, unfortunately. But when it comes to side-scrolling platformers, I mean, Celeste obviously is my number one, but Dead Cells is just so addictive. Have you played that?
I haven't played.
So good. Flighty, I think you have, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I really like the thing about that game that struck me the most was the dude at the very beginning who like dies. And then each time you die, you go back and like his body slowly decays each time you go back. I thought that it's very small and very, simple, but it's little shit like that kind of like keeps me coming back for a game, because like if a developer pays attention to that kind of thing, like surely there are other little details around that I should keep an eye out for.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a good game. That it's a roguelike side scroller.
Speaking of developers paying attention to things and putting fun Easter eggs, did you see what happened with what was discovered under the new PlayStation version of God of War?
The new version?
No.
Well, the most recent one, I should say.
Oh, okay.
Someone was finally managed to kind of break through the camera restrictions on God of War, and there's one part where you're fighting against Baldur and you kind of knock him off a cliff, and he goes off screen, and you kind of like assume he dies and whatever. And I won't share any more details about it, but the guy who hacks the camera actually moves over to the side and goes down into this trench where Baldur is supposed to fall, and he's actually there. His character is there, and he's flipping you off.
Yeah.
So it's just a cute little detail like that. Like no one ever thought that would ever be seen, but the fact that someone managed to get to that point was like, here's a fun little Easter egg. If anybody ever sees this, one of the developers had just put it in there, and it's just Baldur falling down. The game is paused. He's just midair, and it's just flipping you off. Great.
That is a really good game, that. Anyway, so let's go into... I don't have a thing for this, but... Twitch time. There we are.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
I need wine for this. Anyway, so this is... we'll go to the question time, into the topic. The topic is this time... I hate the word topic. It sounds like I'm forcing you all to speak about things like in my English class.
Well, you are, but
yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I'm happy to do it.
Well, I mean, we could talk about Flighty's weekend, or we can talk about how to grow on Twitch when starting out. So
I'll go into sordid detail about either.
She's like, I'm an open book. Let's party.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do this.
Did you have any first timers yesterday, Flighty, to your party?
Yes. Oh my God.
How did they? Were
There's
they
a lot of briefing that needed to happen. Lol.
debriefing?
That was a
More
pun.
like, okay, yeah,
Debriefing,
yeah. Your pun was too good. Yeah. Nice. Anyway, yeah. So starting out on Twitch, this is like how to go from that first stream and just to build up a steady flow of people in there. Other suggestions for topics in the future, feel free to let us know. But JohnJohn, how long have you been streaming?
A year. I just completed my first year in February, so we're at 13 months now because I'm a proud mom. So I'm going to count up. It's like I'm like, oh, I've been streaming for 84 months. That's my 84-month-old in the corner over there.
But yeah, so I mean, this is a great way to ask us. Like, you are killing it right now, and that's only a year on Twitch. Like, a lot of people get these numbers and stuff after 3, 4, sometimes never. So how did you go from that 0? Did you ever start at 0, or did you already have a community when you started?
Yeah. So my suggestion for starting out, it kind of in my opinion, there's 2 ways that you really start out. You either start out as someone completely fresh with no connections, no kind of support behind you, or you start off as somebody who came from a community and like organically butted into this. So I'm the latter. Justin started streaming. I'd been a viewer on Twitch randomly throughout before then, but he was the first person I really made a connection with. I became one of his moderators too. So we slowly built this community together. And from there, I made a decision last February he had encouraged me, and also another streamer, Mistoso, who's also on the Rainbow Arcade with us. Nice. He is a Final Fantasy 14 streamer. I was in his chat one time, and I love his energy. It's very bubbly. It's very infectious. I was in chat with him once, and he was talking about if you were ever interested in streaming, and he was like, just do it. Just do it. You're going to improve on things in your life you never thought you'd improve on, like your confidence, your public speaking, just things of those nature that aren't necessarily in the forefront because you think, oh, I'm just going to be playing games and occasionally talking to people. But really, it takes some skills that are so much more beneficial, and you can easily extrapolate from Twitch and apply it to other parts of your life. So he was talking about all of this, and I was like, okay. So, I talked to Justin about it. I was like, what, can you give me some advice? Can you give me some suggestions? I talked to some other streamers I was friends with at that point. And then they all, saw something in me when I first started. Cause I think my first stream, I had 3 or 5 viewers total. And I was like, this is incredible. Yeah. Like, I was so happy. It was so much fun. And it's been a dream come true for me to this point. And I've been so happy, but the beginning is tough. Even if you come from a community, it's still tough because it's sometimes you're going to start out and you're not going to have any viewers. Sometimes you're going to get a couple. Sometimes you get lucky and have some more than that. But it's going to fluctuate in the beginning. So it's my biggest recommendation to anybody who's starting out streaming, whether you're starting out fresh or whether you're starting out with a community kind of already behind you and supporting you, is 1, be super active on social media. Yes. Social media can definitely help to get the word out about you, to tell people when you're going to be live. My recommendation is to also be consistent. Don't stream once and then stream 3 weeks later and wonder why you don't continue to have any viewers. That's super important. And don't even focus on the viewers that you get in the beginning. Focus on the relationships of the people who do end up coming into your chat. Don't care about what that number is. I mean, I've fallen victim to it over the months too, where I've been like, how come this stream didn't do as well as this stream?
Oh, I'm the same. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm a big believer in the stream, and what you're playing maybe has a tiny influence on your numbers and things like that, but it's more about the person that you're coming to interact with, you're coming to stick around with. And I think that if you really invest in the people that are going to be in your chat, even if it's just one person, you learn things about them, you just start to build that relationship. That return on investment will be there. I realize that I've just rambled on and told
This
you
is exactly
everything
what
that
I
I think about
wanted. No, this is
on the
perfect.
topic, but sum it
Yeah.
up, be consistent, don't really care about that number. Be active on social media and just invest in the people who are willing to invest in you.
Yeah.
If you have one viewer and that one viewer is consistent, if you're not spending your entire chat talking about the game and that person's life and sharing things about yourself, they're not going to want to come back. So really, really take the time to get to know the people who are there, who show up for you, because that's going to just solidify that relationship and they're going to want to come back.
I agree with you, and I'm like, I've fallen victim in the past. Well, no, when I first started out, I'm like, okay, I prepared myself and trained myself. Okay, I'm going to speak about the game, what I'm doing, explain exactly what I'm doing. And as time's gone on, I've had a busier chat, and then most of the time, I'm not talking about the game. I'm just talking to the chat. So I've had to like relearn to talk about the game again, because I've noticed that if the chat's quiet, I'm quiet, and I'm like, wait, no, I need to go back to like how it was before, and actually start talking about what I'm doing in the game, even though most people are either lurking, chilling, or doing other things, or not there. Doesn't matter. The people random people, when they come into the stream, if they can see you talking and they know, and you're there instantly and you're interacting with them, that'll keep them coming back. And so many people as well. I'm one of them as well. There are other people that love finding new streamers, like streamers who are just up and coming. And then because they want to be there at the start of the journey, because there's people who I've followed from, and they've had a few viewers, and then they're another partner. And it's for seeing that journey and for seeing them as they grow up, and you being a part of their community, they don't forget it. Like
No,
I still remember people, Hilly Bear, for example, in the chat. I've known her from like the very, very beginning of when I first started streaming, pretty much. And there's quite a lot of people like that.
I also think that it's important to leverage the relationships that you have in your real life too, if you're comfortable. For one example, Orso, who's in chat with us now, has been my best friend for 5 years. And he originally wasn't doing anything with Twitch. And when I first started streaming, he still wasn't. But a couple months into me streaming, he, got interested. He made a bunch of relationships there. He has his own streamers that he follows now. He's also the best moderator that I could have ever asked for. Him and Andy are fantastic. But that personal relationship in the beginning that I had outside of Twitch that I could bring into it, it also helps the number, and also helps to have somebody there who is just going to be in your corner and is going to support you. So I would also recommend, if you're comfortable and you have people in your life who are willing to kind of support you and share this journey with you in the beginning, or even throughout, if they're interested, I definitely would recommend leveraging those and not just the random viewers you might encounter online.
John says he got affiliate but realized he's not ready yet because he doesn't have the equipment to be the streamer he wants to be. Streaming off a PS4 is not good for me. Yeah, I mean, technically, like, I did a stream once off my PS4, and I'd get one person maybe would pop in, and then they disappear, and like it didn't work for me. It works for some people, but I couldn't do that. I like to have too many. Yeah, I have just loads of controls over that. What about you then, Flighty? When did you first start streaming on Twitch?
So I was I was actually looking at my earliest clip. So apparently I started on October 10th, 2015.
Ooh.
And then I was kind of like on and off, and I just started getting kind of more active and consistent. I'll get to that in a minute. About 2 years ago. Consistency. So I have a couple of chronic illnesses, so it's very difficult for me to kind of make a schedule and stick to it. One of the biggest chronic illness that I have is called Molleray's meningitis. It's basically recurring meningitis. And that shit'll like hit you like in seconds, and it'll keep you on your back for 2-3 days at a time. So sometimes I just cannot adhere to a consistent schedule. So I've had to kind of find ways to kind of make up for that, I guess. That's why I've been more active on my YouTube channel, kind of focusing my energy there, because then I can kind of release things slightly more consistently there. And to the point that was made earlier about fostering relationships and kind of cultivating those, like, I rarely get more than about I think my max is about 15 viewers right now. Usually levels out at around 6 viewers, but they're always there. They're at this point, they're close friends. I know about everybody. Everybody knows about me, and like I can always count on them to be there. And that's, you know, that's basically like sitting in my living room, like having a party, you know, like with, you know, 7 or 8 people there, which is optimal, I feel. Like, would I love to, you know, get 30, 40 viewers per stream? I mean, that would be cool, but like with my current setup, I have to like make things work around me rather than me working around the setup, like working around Twitch. So I guess my recommendation there is like if you do want to be a streamer and you find that you have medical issues or anything of that nature, be sure to make it work for you rather than you working for it, because that's how you can kind of balance health
Love you,
and
Benny boy.
also kind of
Lesson
like
3.
working on cultivating that audience.
I'd even go a step further and talk about your mental health too. I know a lot of streamers who push themselves to stream when they're not feeling the best, and they're afraid of it's a quote I've seen on Twitter used a few times called streamer death, where it's like, if I'm not around for a couple of days, everyone's going to forget about me and they're going to stop coming. So they'll push themselves whether they're not feeling great physically or not feeling great mentally, and then that just doesn't lead to the best stream. So I know that I've been sick this winter a couple of times, and I've taken whole weeks off. And every single time I come back, I miss everyone who's there, because my chat's very much about building those relationships. I know almost every single person by name, not by their username. And building those relationships is so important to me. So when I get back into it, I'm like, I missed you guys. Like it's tough for me to be away because I enjoy it so much, but also it's so important to take care of yourself, because if you're not feeling well, either physically or mentally, and you're not having a good time, it will translate. So
Totally
it will
true.
turn people off to you.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I mean, I have to say there are times where I have streamed when I haven't felt like it, and at the end of that stream, I felt so amazing, and I've been switched away. I've switched from having a meh mood into being like really, really buzzing, you know, like with so much energy, because the chat's been really, you know, full of energy. But sometimes, yeah, if you go and you start a stream and you're not feeling too well, or you're feeling quite stressed, and then maybe the stream doesn't go as well as you think, yeah, it can definitely exacerbate that problem. But most of the time when I do streams, if I'm not feeling too well, or if I'm feeling a bit meh or a bit tired, like a lot of the time it will give me energy. And I also think as well, it depends on the game you're playing. If it's something that will, you know, give you energy, or it's just going to sap your life, sap your energy. Because I think Fire Emblem Three Houses is an amazing game. Like when I play that, I get quite a few viewers, but a lot of people like to sit back and chill. So I need to have the energy to actually play that game. There will be people there talking and giving advice and stuff, and I love playing that game, but it's not a game that gives me a load of energy. So it's not a game I would play if I was feeling quite tired. I think definitely choosing a game has quite an impact.
Something that works for me when I don't feel like streaming, but I feel guilty about it, I try to find, and this works for my particular kind of stream because I have kind of like a multi-format thing going on, but I try to pick like a task that I've been meaning to get done, but I just haven't had the energy to do it. So I'll do it on stream to kind of give me a little bit of accountability. And also I'll just say to myself, if I don't feel like it, like I'll commit to like 45 minutes to an hour. Like last week, I ended up building like a piece of equipment that I got in the mail because I wasn't going to do it off stream when people aren't watching because I was just not feeling great. So it turns out that it made me feel a lot better. And I also like have the piece of equipment ready to go. So that was definitely like, you definitely have to learn how to listen to yourself and like set limits and boundaries for yourself as well. And really just be kind to yourself. I know a lot of people who will feel guilty or feel like they're letting people down when they can't stream. but you really, really, really need to learn the skill of being kind to yourself, because otherwise you're just gonna worry yourself into a frothy mess.
Speaking of
Frothy
last
wasn't the
night.
best word, but I'm sticking by it.
Oh, we had some frothy messes last night. Anya says, what's wrong knowing people with their usernames? Like I see my username as part of my name.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I will ask the person if I get someone new in chat. I'll whether it's through a raid, a random follow, whatever. I'll ask them. Tell us a little bit about yourself if you'd like to share. If you would, is there a nickname? Because sometimes people's usernames are quite long, or also very hard to pronounce. So, I'll usually ask, like, is there a nickname you like to go? Or is there, if you feel comfortable sharing your name and would like to go by your name, let me know, and then I do my best to remember it. But there's nothing wrong with going by your username and not sharing that piece. But what's important is asking and not just being like, tell me your name, because I need to know what your name is. It's tell me how I should address you, what you feel best comfortable with.
Flighty, what names have you been called?
Oh Lord. The most recent one was ThatFlightyBroad, where like the person who was reading my name wanted me to be a dude so bad in his brain that he just read the bro ad. I've been called that fighty bread.
Fighty bread.
I like that. I love when carbs fight.
Absolutely. And there was one that Justin called me, and I can't remember it right off the bat, but it's easily the best one so far. Oh, that filthy broad.
Sign me up.
Yeah, absolutely. And every time I go into Justin's chat, whenever I can manage it, we always kind of reminisce about that. And I'm just filthy broad there. And I mean, it makes sense. So it doesn't bother me when people call me that. So
she's like, fitting. It's fine. Let it happen.
Yeah, it's,
I love Justin's misspeaks. There was, I think it was similar. I haven't been the same stream, but Brenda was in there, and then I think it was the second time I ever watched Justin, or I raided Justin, and Brenda was there, and he was like, "Oh my God, Brenda, I'm so glad you're black." She's like, "Wait, what?" Like, clip that.
But yeah,
she's like, "I am." Also as well, what do you think about when people call others by their Christian name or their real name during? Oh yeah, it tells you a story about Gus. Yeah, there was a guy who actually I unfollowed because the amount of times I told him my name wasn't Gus, because he thought my name was Big Gus, and I was like, I can't anymore. This guy's not listening. So, although to be honest, I'd probably lose a load of followers if people were that strict, because the amount of times I've forgotten when people have told me where they're from, and then the next day I'm like, oh, you're American, aren't you? I'm like, nope, from Slovenia somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was I saying about? I can't remember what I was talking about now. That's what happens when I sidetrack. Yeah, calling people by their real names. I know people that are like, oh, you can call me whatever, and it's their real name. But I don't know, when it's in the chat, I like to call people definitely with a variation of their username. Like, for example, Bad Andy writes in the chat, I can call him Andy, or AO Liam, call him Liam, or John Moyes John. But sometimes if someone's name is totally different from their username, I won't say that, because otherwise it feels like I'm just having a direct conversation with them, and then anybody in the chat doesn't know who I'm talking to. And I think it just makes it a bit easier for them. Call me by your name. Get a peach. But do you ever do that? One second, I've got to let the dog out because he's demanding that I open the door for him. Oh,
I do like to say, every time I see a new person and they decide to interact, and if I can't pronounce their name, I'll always make an attempt, and then I'll say, if it's incorrect, please correct me right away, and tell me what you would like me to call you. I'll say the whole thing every time if you want, but please have mercy on me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do too. I had someone come in recently where I was like, how do I you ever just look at the alert and you're just like, I don't even know how to break this up. It just doesn't work.
All those skills I learned in kindergarten are just out the window.
Yeah.
And I've just been like, I'm gonna shorten it. We're gonna go with this bit first, so you know that I'm talking to you. And then exactly like you just said, is there something else you want to be called? Is there a nickname? Am I pronouncing this correctly? How do I pronounce it? I've had people I've been in streams where people have been like, constantly the name, just like as Ben was saying, you just get it wrong, call me Gus over and over again. And it's like when that person's been corrected and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, but then like it just continues to happen. It's just slightly cringe where you're like, oh, I don't love this for them.
Luckily, like this, someone like also Clator, also. Yeah, also.
Uh-huh. Oh, he knows. He just clicks follow buttons and he's like, just call me Orso. Don't say it. Don't try it.
Nice. Okay, questions. We've got a question from the one, the only John Moy. How did you find out about Twitch? I think it was, John or Andy. And what made you want to stream? How did you find about Twitch, Flighty? Because you were the first one.
Oh shit, that's a real good question. For many, many years, I've always been into watching people play games on YouTube. And I think one of my favorite YouTube people, John Wolf, like advertised that he had like a Twitch channel or something. And then I came and found him. And at the time, I had just started my burlesque dancing hobby. And this was before my very first show. I think I had maybe like 3 or 4 months. And I was terrified of the idea of being on stage. Because I'm definitely a theater kid, but I'm like one of the theater kids that wears all black behind stage. Like, that's it. So I decided to take up Twitch streaming because it based like you're just constantly in front of an audience all the time. And it kind of like got me used to not being performative, but kind of like being switched on in front of people. And then it kind of like ramped up from there.
And was it just in TV then, or had it changed its name to Twitch?
It was Twitch when I started.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, interesting. And what made you? Well, John, what brought you to Twitch? You said you were watching way before you were actually streaming.
Yeah. So for a couple of years, I only religiously played Final Fantasy 14. And there is if you've played Final Fantasy 14 and you've ever looked up anything on what to do in the game, you know the name Ms. Tech. She is the person who creates all the Final Fantasy 14 guides, and she's incredible. So I used to watch her guides all the time, and then I noticed there was a link in her like below her video that said that she was streaming on Twitch, and I didn't know what that was. I had no idea, and this is back in, I don't know, probably 2014, 2015 at the time.
Yeah.
So I made an account because I was curious, like, what is this Twitch thing? What does it mean? And then it was just watching her go through all the content live, interacting with her. So I wasn't active very much or for very long, but it was really cool for me to be like, oh, this person that I've basically put all my trust in when it comes to this game, who's taught me how to play it over the years that I've never interacted with, is here on this screen. So I would go in there and I would thank her for what she's done. She's done so much for the community. And that's really where I started. And then slowly I started to follow a couple of other streamers. And then I really didn't double down until it was when Justin started streaming. And I had been following on Instagram for a while. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, and then I was, he's like, oh, I'm going to stream on Twitch. I'm like, oh, I remember that's what I was following Ms. Tech on. And then he was like, I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy 14. And I was like, okay, I'm shook.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 too. And then that's what really hooked me. And then I started through him rating and things like that, the LGBTQIA+ tag, I started to find some other people and branch out. And now it's basically always up on my computer, whether I'm home or I'm at work. It's funny because my boss knows about what I do on Twitch and like the side project with Ringo Arcade and everything. And she'll come over to my desk and I'll have my 2 giant screens up, but then my laptop is open on the side and I'm watching someone on Twitch and she just doesn't even question it anymore. She's like, I'm not. And she's like, no, I know, it's fine. I'm like, all right, good. As long as we're on the same page, gal.
Oh, that's lucky. That's great. Yeah, I can't really get away with that in the middle of the class. Sorry, I'm just watching a bit of Twitch. Luckily, luckily there's no one on really when I'm when I'm up in the morning. But yeah, I've always liked, like, as a kid when you're playing games and then your brother would watch, or you're you get a friend over and watch. I've always kind of liked that. When I was a kid, I used to have like I used to create an online radio station, and I used to broadcast myself when I was like 11 or 12. But it was one
Stop it.
I
That's
know
so cute.
on. I used to have the top 9 at 9. And I actually
Top 9.
at 9. I used to download all the music and I play the music, and it would be at like really low quality, but I'd get quite a few friends listening in, and they'd vote on what they wanted as like the top 10 or the top 9. And I've always really enjoyed that kind of presenter type stuff. I remember going to the Eureka Museum, which is like the kids science museum near us, and that, like when you got to the TV studio, I was like, oh my god, just leave me here. Just leave me here. I want to go and play in here. So that was something I always enjoyed doing, and Twitch is just like another version of that. And if you told me as a kid like I would be able to do this in the future, I would have, if I had this available when I was 13, of course, and can't do it under 13, I would have bitten people's hands off for it. So I've always loved to do it, and I've never had the internet good enough until I moved to Sabadell in Spain, and then I had like 500 down and 500 up, and just was like, well, this is it. This is perfect. And then my mum retired, and she got a bit of a lump sum, so she gave me some money, and I'm like, okay, I'm using this to buy a PC that I can stream with, and then that, ever since. Was there even internet when you were 13?
That's the cutest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That explains why you're so, like, whenever you're announcing the WWE games, like, I'm always really impressed by how you're able to keep the chatter up. Like,
I was doing that in my head since I was like 8 years old. Sometimes
wow,
not in my head.
It shows you're really talented at it.
Well, when I was a
That's
kid,
so
I used to actually, I used to play wrestling games as a kid and used to do the commentary myself, and it was.
I want to be friends with, like, I wish younger me knew younger you.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh, that would have made my life a lot easier as well, because I didn't know. Yeah, interestingly enough, my high school, 200 students, and it's kind of a small town. Everybody knows everybody and what they're all doing, and even now, like, one gay person and 2 trans women. And I was like, of all the percentages and, like, the chances of people coming out, we've got, one's a trans guy, actually, a trans guy and a trans woman, and 1 gay guy. It's out of all that. And there was one person who wasn't white. That's like kind of where I grew up in when it comes to diversity. So going back home is never, growing up with someone like you, John, would have been eye-opening, I'm sure.
It would have been something, all right.
Eye-watering.
I've been very gay for a very long time.
I had a girlfriend until I was 17.
Oh, I also had a girl. Well, no, only until I was 16. And I always had the same MO with them, where we would date, and then like a month in, I would just start ghosting them, even though I'd see them all the time. I'd be like, gotta go. Oops, like.
Oh, yeah, I had a girlfriend for a while, and I'm not going to say it, but she's an attractive brother. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll take the story about that after stream. Thank you.
Anyway, I'm sorry, there's somebody demanding to come into the room now, because apparently 2 minutes outside.
Oh, you give that puppy everything he wants forever.
Right. Where was I?
Speaking of wet.
Sorry. So yeah, and then I started streaming. Okay, next question. Is there really an answer to how to grow on Twitch? Yeah, so going back to the original topic. I mean, I might in future have it where we'll have a general topic to talk about, and then at the end go for the random questions that don't kind of relate to that, because I still want to, especially when we're going to have different people on every week, it would be great to kind of maybe end up having a more broad discussion later on in the podcast. So, but yeah, is there really an answer on how to grow on Twitch, apart from having a mic and responding to your chat, which should be obvious? There is definitely a way, I'd say, to grow on Twitch if you were amazing at a game, especially if you're in esports like Division. You are sorted. you'll be partner, and you don't need a mic. You need a mic, but I would say you don't even need a cam when you're that good. Some people I know have like really shot up, and they get thousands of views because they're so good at it. But I think that's really, really difficult to get unless you're a pro gamer. I have those pro gamer moments. But most of the time, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I would. A lot of people I know disagree with this, but I think it's really, really, really important to have a cam. There's no way I'm
I
clicking
agree
on.
with that.
I'm no way I'm clicking on a thumbnail if I can't see someone's face on there. I know it's some people don't. Maybe if it's a game that's brand new and I kind of just want to see some gameplay of it, then fine. I was watching Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon because it's not out in the West yet, so I was watching a bit of that, and there was no mic, there was no cam, and that's, to be honest, that's exactly what I wanted. But that's a really rare situation. Nearly all the time, I would like I want to interact with people. Yeah, definitely interact, but also have a cam. Go on, show us your face.
Mhm. I agree.
I should
think that a
mine.
camera is super
Ugly.
important. We're not being mean to ourselves, Ben. It's 2020.
Oh yeah.
Say nice things about yourself. Those are the
Only
rules of
I
this
may be
podcast
mean
now.
to you.
Yeah.
Right. Other people can be mean to you because we love you, but I think a camera is super important because as a viewer, I mean, there really isn't a recipe for being successful on Twitch and how to grow. Every person is going to be different. Every viewer is different. I know as a viewer myself, I do want a cam because I want to know, seeing that person kind of really does help build that relationship. You get to a more intimate connection than you would if it was just a voice over a screen.
Mhm.
And I really do think that the thing that I prize above all else is authenticity.
Yeah.
If I feel like the person that I'm watching is putting on a show or is acting different than they may act in real life, I tend to see it quickly and I tend to not be interested. And then another thing that I look for as a viewer is someone who's looking to build a community or care about the people who are there. If I'm scrolling through Twitch and I find someone new and I'm looking at your panel, because I'm always going to look at your panels. If I'm looking at your panels and the first panel you have up there, or the only panel sometimes, is how you can donate to that person and give them money.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm not interested in you anymore because I don't think, in my opinion, that you're doing this for the right reasons. You're doing it, it looks like to me from that high level, that you're doing it just as a way to make money. And that's not to knock the commercial side of Twitch, but as a viewer, I'm always looking for authenticity and a connection with the person.
Yeah, for real. I think that might be why I keep people around. I have no idea, honestly. Like, I know I said that you need to be kind to yourself, but
Yeah.
it's a skill that you need to learn. It's a muscle you need to build, and I'm not quite there yet. Like, I have no idea why you people watch me. I'm annoying. I'm
You're
loud.
not-
I
no,
do things.
You are loud.
I
we
do
like that.
things like promote my favorite anal lube, boy butter, when you want to butter your buns. It's been a while. It's been a while,
yeah.
hasn't it?
Isn't boy butter one of your emotes, Flighty?
It is. It is. So I swear to God, if Twitch
You've
finds
broken
out,
the
I'm gonna
chat.
know it was you, Ben.
You've broken the chat.
Sign me up.
I cannot.
That's so funny.
Oh. Well,
But for real, though, it's
you
my
bring
favorite
over the
anal
boy
lube.
butter, Flighty, and I'll bring over this. Oh, it's not. It's from out
Oh.
of battery. Oh no, there it is. Oh.
Yeah. Just
Okay, jail to all of that.
stick right in there.
Oh. I can't tell if
now
Glenn Angel's O is a O or a oh.
I'm gonna go with the latter.
You're gonna go with the ladder, are you? Yeah. Is that a salt grinder? No, this is a light up wine opener. Unfortunately, I've not been drinking any red lately, so I've not used it much. But yeah, no, with Flighty, your streams, they're cozy. I love how cozy your streams are. You go in, it's very chilled. You sometimes got, if you're not playing a game that's necessarily got music, or if you're just knitting, there's like the nice calm music there. You're always really welcoming to people, and it's like sitting down. It's like going over to your nan's, sitting down on the really comfortable sofa and just having a chat, and she's coming out with all this filth.
Okay, can I meet your nan then? If she's coming out with all this filth, we would roll.
For real.
quite well.
What's your grandma's
Your
favorite anal
friend's nan.
lube? Like,
your
do
your
we
friend's
need to
filthy
be
nan.
friends?
Maybe not your own.
To this day, and I will always be incredulous about this. To this day, my most populated stream, I think I got like 30 or 40 people, was when I was spinning yarn.
Yeah.
And that was actually the first stream that I introduced boy butter, and that's
Now the question
history.
here, when you introduce boy butter, did your number skyrocket or plummet? I need to know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with skyrocketed at that point. When you were like boy butter, and everyone was like, "Hi, hello."
Absolutely.
We heard
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm still Still waiting for a sponsorship, but I have to figure out how to make that work.
Listen, get on social media. I'm gonna start retweeting. Let's make this happen for you. I have no clout, no pull, no draw whatsoever, but I am gonna retweet this until I die.
But your
I
Grassroots,
want you to
y'all.
get that.
Grassroots.
What was your little catchphrase you had, Flighty? I think there was Butter the Buns, but wasn't there another thing for like boy butter for? You had
There were so many catchphrases I was workshopping.
Brilliant. But yeah, no, it's like cozy filth. If you want to describe Flighty's stream, 2 words, cozy filth is the best.
Well, thank you.
I
That's
love it.
very kind.
Also, like another way of growing, I really, without making it too obvious, like, and I hate the word necessarily, but networking, or at least maybe not networking, just hang out on Twitch. Okay, you think I want to start streaming on Twitch. Go and spend 2 months researching, not even necessarily researching, just go and enjoy Twitch. I think a good streamer is somebody who enjoys actually watching at the same time. So there are some people I know who stream and they never watch the other people's streams. They never go into anyone other streams. They don't watch it. I don't think they've got any interest in it. They just care about streaming. And I've never seen anybody that does that kind of go up. You know, that their streams kind of stay the same. Because one thing I learned, nearly every idea I've got in my stream is lifted from somewhere else. So
Absolutely.
it's not necessarily a kind of going in there deliberately for that, but you just get great ideas while you're hanging out and making new friends. And I would say I'll never say, "Oh, I'm going to stream," or I'm one of those people I just cannot even mention that. If somebody says, "Are you a streamer?" If I'm new, then I'll say yes, but like that's it. But like,
yeah,
if I'm going or like, what are you doing later today? I'll never say, "Oh, I'm streaming" or anything like that. It's like, "Oh no, I'm busy." Or if I'm gonna go to stream, I'll be like, "Okay, I'm gonna lurk for a bit. I'm gonna lurk and do that." But no, I just enjoy. If you're gonna be new to Twitch, go and enjoy it and sit in people's streams and get to know people and work out why people are staying in their streams.
The worst thing I think I've ever encountered, the biggest turnoff immediately, is when someone comes into the chat and says, "Oh, I love the game you're playing. I love the atmosphere here." You know, they'll give you a compliment, and then they'll let you know that they're having a problem hitting affiliate. And that's the immediate killer for me, where I'm like, oh, it's like, I love supporting new streamers. I really enjoy promoting new streamers. I've been on the hunt for new LGBTQI plus streamers because I selfishly will only live in that realm. And I'm constant like, are you like, I tweet it out all the time. Are you bored? You want to go look for someone new? Here, go check it out. I did it for Liam. I've done it for a couple of other people. But if you come into the chat and you're like, "Oh, I'm really having problems hitting affiliate. I'm gonna go stream now. Thanks, hanging out." It's like,
dick move.
I won't say anything about it, but then I'll stop. Like, I'll have conversations with my mods on the side, because I've had people who've come in like consistently over the span of a week and say it, and I've been like, whereas if any other streamer comes in and they know they're a streamer, they know immediately to shout them out. We don't wait for it. We don't ask, whatever. Yeah. But if you come in and you're like, "Oh, I'm having problems hitting affiliate, but I'm gonna go stream now. Have a nice stream." I'm always like, don't shut that person down anymore. We're not gonna support that kind of message.
Right.
If you're a friend of mine and you're doing something big and you're gonna be streaming later or something like that, I want you to share that information with the people that are in my community and that are in my streams, because I love what you put out. So please, advertise yourself in my stream if I know you and we have a relationship. But if you're just a random person who's just starting up on Twitch, that is not the way to do it.
No,
that is not. But going back to your point about networking, I cannot tell you how important the raid tool is.
Yes.
If you are somebody who is new on Twitch and you're just starting out, I don't care if you're raiding me with one person. If you want to start to grow and you want to start to expand your network of streamers, because that's also important. You have your network of viewers, but you also have your network of streamers. Just use the raid tool. Don't just sign off and call it a night, because then you're not exposing yourself to other people.
Yeah.
And even if you've never rated them before, even if you've never said hello in their chat before, but you bring somebody over because you're like, I was just playing Stardew Valley and they want to keep watching, and I know you're playing Stardew Valley and whatnot. That's that is a huge tool, and that is something you get to do every single stream.
Just be careful, don't blind raid. I've had errors before. I remember one week I was like, I'm going to blind raid people, and oh dear, that went wrong. Especially one person who I raided, and they were Portuguese. The title was in English, but they didn't speak a word of English, so I just raided them because they were playing the same game, and I was like, I have no idea what this person's saying. So let's go.
Oh my god, I have to be really careful because I have a handful of trans folks in my community, and I am so overprotective of them. So I have to like vet like everybody that I'm gonna raid. Like I have to do it when I'm not streaming, and I have to like go around and look, because if I even get a whiff of transphobia, you are not on my raid list. And there are some people out there who like they don't want to be transphobic, but they're still kind of working on it. You know what I mean? Like, so like they have to finish doing that work before I can send my beautiful children off to them.
Yeah, I'm quite. I've gone like not to a blind raid, but I've got like a channel points thing where people can choose who to raid. And it requires quite a lot of points, so you've got to be in my chat for quite a while before you can do that. And I've had it before where I've actually discovered some really cool streamers because people in the chat have recommended them. And I think, for example, John Moy, the other day, I think you said, "Oh, can we raid?" I don't know, it was a while ago. But he said, "Oh, can we raid so and so?" Because he watches them quite a lot. Raided them, and it was great to meet them. In fact, I think I'm pretty sure Lita Games was somebody who I raided just before she joined Rainbow Arcade, and it was somebody that recommended her, and now really, really get on so well with her. She's a fantastic streamer, really lovely person. So that's a great way. Chili Farmer was, I think there was another one, but Chili Farmer as well was somebody who I'd not watched before and raided because John redeemed the kind of choose who to raid. And had a great time hanging out there. So there's some really good ways of doing that. But be careful. John says, Ben, remember that one person you raided and they were so rude, like they weren't even thankful. Yeah, there was one person that didn't acknowledge that. It came up like on their chat and stuff, but they like didn't acknowledge once that they'd been raided. I unfollowed them rather quickly.
You were like, yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like we're all really lucky and privileged for the LGBT plus tag because our communities are so incestuous. And it is wonderful. Like 95% of my viewership came from Ben. And I actually
sorry.
I actually found you when they were still doing like location tags.
Were you hunting for a British boyfriend?
This person is in Spain. I bet they have a wonderful accent. And then I was like, oh, he's like Welsh or something.
It's not got the tan. It's not got the accent.
He's like, this is clickbait. I want my money back.
Yeah.
But then it turns out that, he was really funny and he tolerated my bullshit. And honestly, like taking the time to go into your fellow LGBT communities and just like getting to know the people there, because the community is small. So you will get heard about, good or bad. So definitely be careful there.
Yeah.
And also it's also just really nice because like I don't find a lot of buy and pan people. So whenever I find them, it's just like buy and pan flags all over the place. And it's like there's this little like camaraderie, and it's just really nice to have that. And like even if you don't get viewers out of it, you get like, new Twitter friends, and that's a rewarding in and of itself.
Yeah. Ula says, so 95% of your viewers are Norwegians as well. Yeah, like Uli, I don't think how did you find me? Because you didn't find me through the many Norwegians in the chat. I think you found me through another LGBT streamer. I'm not sure exactly. Was it?
It's probably Liam.
Was it Liam? Yeah. Gus, yeah.
I learned about them.
I do know. So when I was starting out, this is another way how I like. There's a lot of luck. People say there isn't. There's definitely hard work and there's definitely working towards it. But like you can get a severe lift up from a bit of luck. And one of them was ever since I was young, I've always really liked this band called Donkey Boy, who are as they referred to them as like the Take That of Norway, you know, like the band that everybody knows. And I followed them on Facebook, and I remember one day on Twitch, I saw a post on Facebook that they'd said that, oh, we're going to start streaming very soon, so follow us. So I clicked on the follow, and then like about I clicked on follow, and I also clicked on set alerts up. So I think I'd finished a stream. No, I was about to start a stream, and I got an alert saying that they'd gone live, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to go and watch them instead." This is before I was actually committed to streaming, and I went into their chat and then got talking with them, and there were only like 10 people in the chat, and their streams used to always be in English, so we'd chat, and I got playing with them, and in fact, actually, they said, "Hey, do you want to join us for a game of PUBG?" Which was the in thing then, and there were 3 of them, and they needed a 4th one, and I was like, "Yeah, sure," but I was so tempted to kind of cancel because I was really nervous, because I'm like, these are like pop stars, these are people who I've followed for years and years, and I love their music and all their songs, and they'd now invited me to go and play. And this is the first time I'd ever spoken on Discord with anybody that I didn't know, because I used to think, and I still think I still get nervous talking to people who I've never spoken to before, especially on Discord. And like I was totally freaking out, and I was like, no, I'm going to do it. If I don't, I'll regret it. So I did it and played with them for the whole stream, and I played a few times after that with them, and they even like invited me over to Norway, and I stayed with them. I actually slept on the couch in their recording studio, which was just, and then like the next morning, Kato came in and was like, "Hey, this is some of the new music we were kind of working on. What do you think?" I was just like, am I still asleep here? Is this still a dream?
What a wonderful experience.
Yeah, but then because they got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I mean now unfortunately they don't stream, or very, very rarely, but they were getting regularly like 300, 400 people or something. But because I'd been there at the beginning of their first stream and seen them grow, I got to know so many Norwegians, and that's how I've ended up like making really, really good friends with many people over there. Mellum, for example, who I was streaming with yesterday, he's one of them. He taught me my first ever phrase in Norwegian, which is "Ikke shoot meg," which means "don't shoot me," because I used to be the victim of friendly fire quite occasionally.
Let's also not downplay the ever popular thirst follow. I can contribute the remaining percentage of my viewers to thirst follow.
Oh yeah,
thirst follows are so important.
They're vital. Like you can't downplay them at all. They're not negative. If somebody finds you attractive and they keep the boundaries up, and
very important.
Yeah, I get uncomfortable because I'm not used to it. I'd much rather somebody come in and say something insulting to me than complimentary. But I think that's just me being British, maybe.
Oh yeah, I think I've given you like 10 compliments, and you have only accepted one of them.
Do you remember which one? Just like...
I think I said that like I like your nose, like I like the shape of your nose, and then like.
Oh.
I really would have bet on something about boy butter here, but I guess I'm wrong.
Oh. No, we all love John. We love anyone that's open and out, proud bottom like John on stream. He's we stan it, as they say. I cannot take a comment. Yeah, I think it's natural not to be able to take it. Oh, wait a minute. Where's mine? Oh. I don't have that, but I do have this. I got that from Oslo Airport when I was really drunk, and it wouldn't fit anywhere, so I was just walking around with this giant stick.
I'm sure it fits somewhere you're very comfortable with, Ben.
Wow. I suppose it's only like that thin. That's fine.
Definitely lube it up, though.
Yeah. With what? Flighty?
Definitely. Boy butter.
You really do not want splinters in any hole that could fit in, really.
Jail.
Ula says, I've never felt so represented before. And also, as well, the Norwegians that I met, so God knows, I couldn't count how many I know. Literally until Ula, and I've not even asked if this is true, but Glenn was the only LGBT Norwegian that I know, and I didn't actually meet him through the Norwegian Thunder Boys. I met him through, I think it was Devon Bumpkin maybe, or I don't know. There's some I got to know Glenn through another like route. So it's definitely like my stream is. I know a lot of LGBT streamers have kind of mainly LGBT viewers, but it tends to be quite mixed. Anyway, next question. Was or is any of you three an introvert in offline life?
Yes. Oh my God, I hate you all.
I guess
kidding.
technically
I'm
I'm
kidding.
an
I love you all.
introvert. I think that's the term for it. Where like I love being the center of attention. I love being funny, and I love having people stare at me. But at the same time too, once I get my kind of fill of it, I'm also the type of person that's like, I'm gonna go live in this cave. Goodbye. Like
Yeah.
nobody talk to me, nobody look at me. I need time to recharge. So I guess technically I'm an ambivert. I think that's what it's called. But the introverted side of me, she takes over quite a bit. It's unless I'm out with friends or I'm around other people or like on Twitch, most of the time I'm like, nobody talk to me. I'll be over here. I'll say something funny and then that's it. And then like, you enjoy that. That's your fill for the next hour. I'm gonna go live.
You're welcome.
You're welcome
Bye.
for that nugget. I'll be back.
Introverse. The only verse.
Oh, I like that.
There's nothing verse about JohnJohn. Flighty.
I've been telling you for months, Ben. Just come on over and I will show you exactly what's verse about me.
Wow. It's a singing voice.
If y'all want to make some money, I'll bring a camera. I have connections.
You have connections, but not the Boy Butter sponsorship yet, and that's what we need you to
No.
bring
Yeah,
to
we-
the table.
That's
The boy
how
got a
you
gun.
get that
Go for
sponsorship.
that. Oh, what about you, Flighty? Are you introvert outside of you? Don't you have a? Is it true you have a dinosaur outside your house?
I do actually.
And
I
flags.
have a 9-foot plastic dinosaur in my front yard, and I have like the gay pride flag, bi pride flag, trans pride flag, and like, you know, we get a lot of compliments. There's a bar across the street, and funny story, our first dinosaur got stolen from our front yard.
Wait a sec. Our first dinosaur. If anyone's just
Our
tuning
first
in,
dinosaur got stolen from our front yard right under our noses. The people at the bar across the street tried to stop it because they love our dinosaur so much.
Oh.
Didn't work though. Whoever stole it, like a couple of drunk guys, like were just pulling off the heist of the century or something like that.
Get the dino! Get the dino!
they're
run,
gonna
run,
wake
run,
up
run,
tomorrow like, what the hell have we
And,
done?
And the people at the bar, like they were so nice. They actually held a fundraiser to get us another one. So like we don't ever go there because we're super introverted, but like
Okay.
apparently we're just nice enough that like people remember who we are. Like it's just like you were saying, like you give them that like nugget, you're welcome, bye kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just thinking like somebody with those flags and the dinosaur, I wouldn't expect to be a bit of an introvert, but you wear it on the outside and then you're introvert on the inside. I get it. Like inside the
Yeah,
house.
that like when I'm doing burlesque, like I am the most glitterful, flamboyant person because you got to work for those tips.
Yeah.
But like when I'm done, like all sweats, hat, earphone, like get away from me, don't touch me, don't talk to me. And then like, and there are days like when I can't eat, like I get so overstimulated that I can't even like listen to sound. That's how introverted I can get. So I have to just like chill in my bedroom and read for 9 hours, and then I'll be recharged and good to go.
Yeah, I don't think I am introvert. I think certain times I do feel like in I don't mind social situations at all. I think I'm okay. That's one thing that Dave says is like he wishes he could be more like me. Because if I'm in a group with a group of people I don't really know, I'm okay. I can cope. I don't like to put myself in that situation, but I can cope quite easily in it, and I'll get chatting. And I have like a cheeky sense of humor. I can work out how to push people, but without being too far usually. But Yeah, so I don't think I'm an introvert, but I would prefer to just sit in here, on my PC streaming rather than going out and
Right.
socializing in real life. But I think it's the Twitch addiction.
I've also become really selective about who I'm willing to like engage with outside of this, because like I have a lot of straight friends outside of like in my real life, and I'm tired of that energy right now in my life. So a lot of the times I'll get invited places like, oh, I'm going to this party, do you want to come? Or I'm going out to see so and so, blah blah. And my response back is, am I going to be the only gay person there? And if the answer is yes, I'm good, thank you. Because I just need just one
One person
other,
to chase around.
exactly. That's what it is. Someone a thirst after. No, it's just someone who gets it. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I've just got a safety net here. Like I love all my friends,
Right.
and if it's important to them, I'll go. But most of the time, I'm like, I really don't. I don't want to have to carry this party. Let's be honest.
Yeah, like
Let's be
I
honest.
need somebody that I can like look at and roll my eyes with when people do
Uh-huh,
something extra
uh-huh.
straight, you know what I mean?
Or I'll just tongue pop, and I see he looks around and is like, oh, and I'm like, hello. This is happening for the rest of tonight.
Yeah. Next one. What motivates you to keep streaming? What motivates you to keep streaming? I'd say for me, having ideas. So where I'm always, I'm always coming up with crazy, stupid stuff, and usually it fails. Sometimes it doesn't. So having like always something to do, like for example, next Friday I'm going to be starting 100 days of Twitch. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch for 100 days in a row. If As we said before, like, yeah, if I don't feel like it, I will just stream without the camera, and I'll turn the lights off in here, and I'll talk on my mic for a bit and maybe just have a 2-hour stream. But like most of the time, I'm going to try not to. But like, I'm not going to be afraid to just do that rather than forcing myself to be on there if I don't want to be, and making myself really annoyed or really angry. But things like that. Then I've got like the Biggest Brother going on and the BBW wrestling. Like having this kind of stuff coming up motivates me, and also having a chat that's busy. Really, that's the main thing, and that people are interested in it.
I'd say definitely the people that are already here. I have just some of the best friends on here, so it's basically like I'd be doing this whether I were on Twitch or not. I'd be chilling here playing video games. So to make it a social aspect is awesome. But also, Rainbow Arcade gets me going, because that project I'm so proud of. And there was one thing that came up when I first started streaming last year. I had a viewer, and this is the thing that like I always come back to, and this is super personal, but I had a viewer. His name was Alex. He's a high school kid, and he had to write about, in one of his classes, he had to write about someone or people who inspire you to be yourself and inspire you to, like, be proud of who you are and what you've accomplished so far in your life. And he wrote it about me because he doesn't really have too many people around him who are out and gay and proud and not apologizing for it. And I always come back to that, and like it always just like when I need a reminder as to why I'm doing this, I always just shoot back to Alex, and I'm just like, okay, let's go do this. Let's do it. Let's keep going.
We're all choked up. Goddamn.
It's emotional. And we talk about representation a lot on my channel and everything. And I never had anybody who was gay in my life growing up. I was the gay person growing up. And I remember even like watching TV, like hoping to find someone who was gay, and watching late at night, like really close to the TV, like with the volume really, really low. So just in case anybody came in the room or anybody came near, no one would know that I was watching something that might have a gay person on it, because I was afraid. But now I'm like, now here I am coming up to 30, and I'm like, excuse me, I'm gay as hell. You better watch. I'm sorry, you need a gay person? Hello, I'm right here. Scream. And the LGBT community is so important to me. And finding it on Twitch, that drives me to just keep going.
Yeah, it would have really, I think, I don't know if it'd be the same for you, Flighty, but it would have really helped me as a kid as well. Like media really helped me. When I came out to my parents after watching Queer as Folk, but the UK version, not the American version. I watched the UK one and like built up the courage and then did it. So like media and seeing representation and seeing other people who are experiencing it is so important.
so that comment about me being close to the TV is because I was watching Queer as Folk as like a 13-year-old trying to figure out the US version. And the funny thing is that my mom was watching in the living room, just not even thinking anything of it, but it was loud. So I knew what was happening because I could hear it. But I was so close to the TV where I was like, if anyone comes in, I can turn the power button off real quick. As soon as I was like, oh, me too. Twins.
Oh. Did you ever watch it as a kid, Flighty?
No.
No.
I grew up in a really open household. Like I come from, so my dad's half of the family is Catholic. My mom's half of the family is Black Baptist. Neither are conducive for gayness, unfortunately. But both of my parents as individuals were very open and welcoming, because they both grew up in situations where like they always kind of relied on the kindness of others. So they kind of like put that back out in the world. So I was never like afraid to be myself. As a matter of fact, my mom always kind of gave me this like, I dare you to say something kind of energy. Like, and like both of my parents taught me how to fight. So I was always like ready, you know, like I dare somebody to say some shit. So I was very privileged in that particular area of my life.
Andy, I'm picturing you being a broadcast announcer in your head as you approach your folks. Oh no, I told my mum, and then she went downstairs and then came back.
How old were you?
17, I think. And then it wasn't a good thing. My dad said I'd ruined his and my mum's life, and like the next morning, my mum was like crying on the kitchen floor, and then they blamed it on everything. It was great. It was like we went through everything. Did you? Oh. It's against God, and but then like my dad called my older brother and was like, oh, I've got bad news. I've got bad news about Ben. And then my older brother, he's from my dad's previous marriage. He's not my mum's son, but he's like 15 years older than me, so quite a bit older. He's settled with his partner and female partner, and my dad said that, and my brother's comments was, oh, is that it? Oh, I thought you were going to say he was dying or something. And like that kind of made my dad realize, and then speaking to my brother, and then he realized what an idiot he'd been, and then like my mum will feel whatever my dad feels like. So if my dad's angry at something, my mum, she'll be in like a state of not anger, but she'll be worried and like upset at what's happening. So
Sure, yeah,
when he was fine,
empathetic.
she was fine. Yeah. And he no, it didn't take him long at all. In fact, they went on a really long holiday for like a month because that's what they used to do. And I was like, hey, great, I get to stay at home now because they don't want to be around me. But then when he came back, he was really, and like I've got a really, really good relationship with my parents. It was just that 1 month or two for it, you know, just when it was just a shock. Apparently, I used to go and steal all my dad's Madonna and Cher CDs and Blondie CDs. I'm like, how did he not know? And also, why was my dad having that? So
yeah, well, I don't think we should touch that upon your dad, but it's very clear. Very clear to me that
there are questions.
Yeah,
you're right.
To be asked.
Madonna, yeah, Blondie, Tina Turner CDs, but also like Jethro Tull and Led Zeppelin. He just liked music, I think.
Oh, so maybe he was like, oh, was that his music taste or what you stole from him?
Oh no, I didn't steal any of that Jethro Tull or Led Zeppelin. No.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe it was a surprise to them because you gave some kind of balance. Maybe young gay you was like a Cher CD and Jethro Tull. He'll never know. He's got questions. He won't ask me because we're British. Let's do this.
Oh shit.
Funniest thing,
I mean,
the funniest
all
is when
music is gay, but just listening to it.
Orla says the funniest thing is when parents go, "Oh my god, it's because I was listening to Madonna when you were in the womb." I got blamed on because I used to listen to I still do. I listen to Auntie and the Johnsons. Oh, it's because you listen to Auntie and the Johnsons, and apparently and Big Brother, that got deleted from the Sky Planner because apparently that caused it as well.
I had 4 sisters, so I had no chance.
No,
We're
not even a
too
little
older.
bit.
too older, too younger, I had no shot at being heterosexual. My dad told me growing up too all the time, he's like, you can be whatever you want, just don't be gay. And I was like, well, joke's on you.
This is too
I'm
bad.
gay as hell.
You lost that lottery.
Truly.
Oh.
From the jump too. I'm like, I'm gonna do musical theater. It's fine.
Also says, I remember coming out to my mum and she was like, okay, and you used to steal my heels and dance and sing to Christina Aguilera as a kid. Hybrid Squirrels, who is, I believe, straight, said, listen, there ain't nothing wrong with Madonna. That's true. Old Madonna. New Madonna, not so much. Let's see. He is straight, yes. I knew you had a female partner. I just didn't know whether you swung both ways. Next question. How important is an active chat compared to high viewer counts?
Very, in my opinion. There is a level of enjoyment and a level of sustainability that we as streamers get from having an active chat. And I would rather have 5 people who are active and talking to me and engaging in whatever it is versus 20, 30 who are sitting there quietly. Because the numbers are great, but at the end of the day, it's about the relationships. And you have to have people to vibe off of. And if you don't have an active chat, if you know, it's mostly just you sitting there talking to yourself. So it's
So it's not Astral's comment. Active, like doing work. It's active chat. You better get up. Well, no, John loves 5 active guys in around him.
At least, let's go. Let's run with it. At least 5. One of them's definitely going to be you, though, Ben.
I got to agree though with you when you said, like, although I gotta say some games though that are mainly story based games, I'm okay if it's. I totally understand if it's an empty, really quiet chat. Like I said before, Fire Emblem. I've streamed Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Absolutely loved it. I go and chat to every time somebody's got a speech bubble, I'll go over to them and chat to them, and it's all fully voiced, so I'm not necessarily speaking so much, but I will talk to the chat. And then often the chat gets busier when I'm doing the battle scenes. But when I'm walking around the monastery in that game for sometimes up to 2 hours, like the chat will be really quiet, and sometimes I'll go, is anybody actually watching this? And I'll go and hover over because I hide the viewer count. I'm like, Jesus, there's loads of people watching, and also. Sometimes I've had a few people say, "Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm just lurking, or I'm just chilling and listening to it because it's such a story based game." So I understand that. Yes, some games really do have no there'll be people watching it and enjoying it, but they don't feel like they want to contribute because they're watching the story or they're following along, or they're just enjoying how chilled it is. So I understand that as well. But yeah, active chat makes time go fast so quickly. What about you, Flighty? Because your chats are always really active, I found.
Yeah, I rarely have more than 6 people in my chat, and all of them are, like I said, regulars, and they're always like speaking of like things that kind of like keep you motivated, just those people who keep coming back, and like at least once every couple of weeks, someone in my chat will say, I'm so glad you're online right now. I had the shittiest day, and just hanging out with you in this chill environment has done me a world of good. And it's always just like, you're welcome.
Yeah. I agree. And also somebody, who was it? Let's see. Yeah, Glenn says active chats also attract newer viewers, just browsing. 100% true. Also, I love it. And people who are often in my chat, you can take this as a plead. I love it when I go into other people's chats or people come into my chat and everyone like welcomes them. And I've noticed, I see that quite a lot in my chat, and I'm so grateful. Like when someone new comes, the 2 or 3 people will be like, hey, how are you? And when you go into a chat, even if I go into a chat that's got 300 people in, and if I say hi and maybe the viewer, the streamer's busy, or they're really concentrating on a part of the game, I will 100% hang out there if the chat's friendly and welcoming to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. I'm so glad others hide the view count. That's been my secret to not letting. Yeah. Oh yeah, hiding the viewer count is really, really helpful. Although I always get tempted.
Yeah, that has brought my morale up. Like, numbers really should not matter. Like, don't do it for numbers because you will fail every single time.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody like focused on the analytics or the numbers who like is thriving right now.
Hmm.
And it just makes you depressed. Don't
Yeah.
do something if it makes you depressed, dog.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
I know
Okay.
that when I'm streaming, if the viewer count for me shows in the beginning of my stream for some reason, but then it disappears. I don't know why. But I'm always sitting there when I'm doing my like startup screen or something like that. I'm always like, just give me one person. All I want is one person to say hello. Just one person. I can work with one person. I would stream for one person. The numbers don't matter to me, but I just need one person to vibe with. And then I'm like, all right, we're good. As soon as someone says hello, I'm like, yes, let's do this. Hello, hi. Tell me about your stream.
So now you know when John's when he's starting soon, say hi to start his stream.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
it.
that's what you
the
do when
ticket.
you my start stream. I'm having a pee, going to quickly getting a drink,
No,
or I'm
it's mostly water. It's just like you said, peeing, running around the house, making sure everything's done last minute.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like, oh, I'm feeling hungry now, let me put a snack over here, something like that. But I'm also coming in, then I see like someone's been like, hey, and I'm like, I'll be ready in 2 seconds.
yeah.
I know people, streamers who just sit there and just wait as the screen's just going. They're just like,
That's one of the reasons why I stopped. I used to have a countdown on there, and I stopped it because some of the times I was like, "It's 4 minutes left. Why am I just sitting here?" But then I know some people were like, "Okay, I could see that there was 10 minutes left, so I went and got something." And you started already. But yeah, so I understand. Like I just got rid of that timer now, and I start it when I'm ready. But yeah, sometimes you need that. Yesterday I had an absolute nightmare start to my stream. For some reason, my mouse was double clicking on everything, so I was trying to, but it was clicking. No, I was clicking with my mouse, and then it was unclicking immediately, even though I was holding it. So I couldn't drag anything over to my second monitor. And obviously, that I realized that after I'd clicked start streaming, and the going live stream was up. And then luckily as well, because then I started the stream and there was no sound actually going through either, even though it was popping up on my OBS as actually showing there was sound. I just was like, okay, I'm going to stop this stream. I'm going to restart the PC, and luckily it all sorted itself out. But yeah, usually, I don't know if there's, I bet there's different, it'd be really interesting to see like the 10 minutes or whatever that people have their going live stream and seeing how different people are. Because I'm half the time I'm flapping around like, oh my God, I gotta do this, or I'm posting on Twitter and in Discord that I'm live, and yeah, that's me usually.
or I'm sitting here because I've got my water. I'm like, oh, I'm prepped today. We're good. I press the go live button. Then I'm like, I did nothing for social media today. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, hold on.
There's nothing more poop inducing than clicking start streaming. You click that start streaming and you're like, oh, I really need a shit. You just realize the second you click that start stream. But Andy says, when you need to wash the boy butter off your hands before streaming, your mouth gets sticky. Ugh, my mouse gets sticky. Yes.
Okay, here's the thing about boy butter, though. The reason why it's one of my favorites is because it does not get sticky. It's silky smooth the whole way through. So
go to the boy butter website, put in the code FlightyBroad, get 10% off your next order.
Just saying.
Start streaming, be out back screen, remove streaming, resume streaming. So yeah, it was an absolute mess yesterday.
Oh my God, don't use Crisco. That'll give you a yeast infection. Please don't use Crisco.
What's Crisco?
Also my stream is usually
know.
kind of like a sex ed thing. So
what's Crisco? Or who's Crisco?
Crisco is a like a vegetable shortening kind of like fat that you use to cook with.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if it's to do with cooking.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to like eat a spoon of it or something. Like, don't do that.
Okay, final question before we move on to like the little extra bits of news. Because this went on for a lot longer than I expected. Because you two are just so easy to chat to. I gotta say,
it always does.
Yeah, it does. Whenever in the past we've done Twitch specials, and I've always loved them, and they've always been really long, and it's just us chatting away, and we try and stick to a topic, and then it just all hell breaks loose, and that's pretty much what's happened today, and that's exactly what I wanted. But this I'm aiming for being like the normal for click play every week. So hopefully see people on and just get chatting, and I'm sure we'll have missteps and people on, but I'm going to try and vet everybody and make sure that people that I people who I happily watch for hours on end on Twitch, I'll invite on. Okay, final question. How do you feel Twitch has improved you as a human being? to each of you, that is. Or maybe it's unimproved. Maybe it's made you worse. John.
Definitely made me less motivated at my desk job.
Yeah.
I'm at
Yeah,
work and
same.
I'm like, can I go home and work on stuff for stream? Or like I'm doing like Rainbow Arcade stuff at work at my desk because I'm just so focused on it, and that's what I want to be doing with my time, and streaming is what I want to be doing with my time. But also on the flip side, I don't think I could ever go full-time streamer just because the inconsistency scares the fuck out of me. But I think that it has definitely helped me. I was already a pretty confident person. This has only made it worse. So I'm sorry for literally all of you. And JJ went from all right to gutter troll, truly. It's made me it's improved my confidence. It's improved my public speaking. It's introduced me to a whole wealth of people that I never would have had before. And like, not to be super sentimental or anything, but I'm going there. I have met the best friends in my entire life through this process, and we're all spread out the United States, but we're in constant contact. And like, I never had a group of gay friends growing up, and like I said earlier, all my real life friends, or most of my real life friends, are straight. But with what I have now, it clicks different. This group just slaps differently. And
what's happening, John, for your birthday?
Most of them are flying in for my 30th birthday. So as long as coronavirus doesn't kill us, almost every single one of my friends is flying in from all over the United States to be with me for the weekend of my birthday. Because my birthday's it's on a Sunday this year. My birthday is also the day after Ben's birthday.
Wait, does that mean my birthday's on a Saturday?
Yes, it is.
Oh. That's
party.
That's gonna be a good stream. No.
Yeah.
I can get drunk on stream.
So I'm just it's done so much for me, and I probably couldn't pinpoint one thing to say that this is the best thing that's improved, because I've just seen so many parts of my life just elevated to heights I never thought that it would. So I am sticking around for a while, and if you're upset about that, too fucking bad.
What are you even doing here if you're upset? Like, go away.
What about you, Flighty? How has Twitch improved you as a human being?
It has made me a lot more patient. It has. I used to have a hair trigger when it came to that band hammer. And I still kind of do, because I have it's tough being a woman of color, a queer woman of color, all on Twitch. So you kind of have to have a little bit of a hair trigger, but also like sometimes people will come in and they'll say something that I initially deem troll worthy, but then, you know, a lot of people on the internet are just really awkward, and they just don't know how to social very well. So I try really hard to be as welcoming as humanly possible. And I've actually converted a couple of trolls that way by being 100% sincere when they come into my chat. And like a couple of guys came in and were like trying to tag team troll, and I was being totally sincere with them. I was like responding to their questions, and by the end of that they were like, you're no fun because we actually like you now. And then they left.
Oh,
so yeah, the patience has definitely been a very good improvement for me.
well, that's sweet. Also says you become much more confident. This is to JohnJohn. Much more confident and much more sure of yourself and what you want out of life, and I'm so proud of you. Oh,
gross.
Yeah.
Too confident if you ask.
That last part, I know exactly what I want, and I don't. And
there's an app for that.
Yeah. I think you call it Orange Facebook.
Orange Facebook, that's the one. Yep. Twitch improved me as a human being. Probably made me a little bit more creative. Like now I know how to use a lot of Adobe things. Like improved my life definitely 100%, because I started being on Twitch. One of the main reasons I started streaming was because I had kind of no friends in Spain. Because Barcelona is an incredible city, but it's a place where people come for 6 months maximum and then they move on. So I was like making friends, and then the locals, the people who are actually there, they've got like a good close group of friends, and it's really difficult to get into there. So I only had like 1 or 2 good friends in Barcelona, and I started streaming. But through that, I've got to know, through Twitch, I've got to know so many new people, and I've been able to become a lot more social, which is when I was younger, like before I moved to Spain, I was so social. There's a bar in Leeds, and it was a really like long, thin bar, and I used to enter at the top, and then the bar would be like down the bottom, and I would take sometimes an hour just walking down there, chatting to people that oh, hi, good to see you, and like that was my kind of thing. And moving to Spain, but Zaragoza was pretty good for that, especially with the people that I worked with. But when I went to Barcelona, I just felt like I need social interaction, and that's why I streamed on Twitch, and it's definitely helped me do that. Has it improved my public speaking? I don't know. I still fall over my words like half the time when I'm speaking, but that's just me trying to. I think my brain works faster than my mouth, so I end up like just squirting out all sorts, and that sounds wrong. See, if it hadn't, I would have thought about that. So thought about saying that, and realized how awful that would have sounded. So
yeah. Now everyone's just focused on you squirting out.
Yeah. As long as it's boy butter, yeah. Only haters going dry. Glenn Angel says, "Flighty, I love your energy so much." Yes, she does, and I'm gonna make sure there's lots of there's lots of shout outs going in there, because Flighty, JohnJohn, and obviously like, oh wait, no, I typed in the wrong John there. Yeah, because you guys, especially Flighty, if you put your YouTube in there as well, we'll make sure that people follow you on there. But Flighty, we've got some. As we're closing up, we've got a couple of things to say. Flighty, you're always accepting suggestions for new indie games / demos to play. And it just reminded me, something came up that I added. I need to actually buy it on here, because I won't buy it just yet. But there's a game that I watched you play, Echo. And it's currently...
Yes, oh my God. Everybody, everywhere, forever play Echo. It's so good.
It's 50% off as well on Steam right now.
Oh, so. Get it.
No excuse. It
oh
looks,
my God.
Yeah.
No
really.
excuse.
But like,
if you are poor and you look at that game and you're like, oh man, I really want to play it, slide my DMs, because I will buy you a copy. That is how much I love that game.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I mean, like, I don't want everybody in the chat to do that, but you know, like, be discerning when you message me.
I was like that with Celeste. Like, there's a few people I got Celeste for, because I was like, just play it, you'll like it. And yeah, it seems like a lot of people do.
I remember I had bought Celeste when it was on sale, and you came into my stream and you're like, "Did you get Celeste yet?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just bought it." He was like, "Damn, I was gonna buy that for you today."
That was the thing. I actually I clicked on gift it, and he was like, "JohnJohn already has this in his collection." I was like, "What?" Like literally yesterday he didn't. Yeah, but that's I'm really glad you like that. Such a wonderful game. But so yeah, what kind of indie games could we recommend for Flighty? Have you played Little Misfortune?
I haven't, no. I will play like any indie game from like high quality to low quality. Like send me, like if you want to see me react to anything, usually at the end of my playthroughs, I have a background in art history. So what I like to do while I'm playing and afterwards is kind of like kind of contextualize the game within that mindset. So like if I see any kind of influences, I will talk about them at great length, and I get super nerdy about it. So if you want to see me nerd out about anything, send me recommendations.
Oh yeah, the two I would recommend, Little Misfortune, and I would want to see you react to that, because that game is just, I cried with laughter so often. Have you seen any clips of me playing that?
No, I haven't.
It's the one
I've seen, like, I know which game you're talking about.
Yeah. There's like
it's a gem.
Yeah, she's this little cute. She's apparently got a Spanish accent, but sounds quite Russian to me. But she's got a filthy mouth, but she's a young little girl, and she's just going from one place to another. And she's like, she's the one that says "Yikes" forever. And some car whizzed past her, and she's like, "Slow down, you fuck." And just like the attitude. Honestly, it's about 3 hours long, and I cried with laughter 3 or 4 times during that, and like I just played the whole game with a giant grin on my face. It's really, really, really good, and it's dark humor as well, which I like. And you might even cry. I won't say anything else, but it's brilliant.
It's easy for me to do all of that.
Yeah. Also, as well,
Right.
not for broadcast. I played that quite recently. It's still, I think there's like 4 chapters in. I think it's going to go up to 10 eventually when it fully releases. But it's, think of Five Nights at Freddy, but you are playing you're in charge of a control center in in a TV station, and you're kind of, it's a government run station, and you've got to kind of stop, you've got to like put the bleeps when people are swearing on TV, and you've got to control the different cameras and do various things. It's a lot of fun, and also a really, really funny game. Quite dystopian future, but like quite amateurly acted, which I like. It's very like high school
wonderful.
acting. Yeah. So yeah, Little Misfortune and Not for Broadcast. I definitely recommend those two.
Wonderful.
Do you have any recommendations, John? Apart from Stardew Valley?
I really don't play too many indie games, so I would definitely say Stardew, but you've already gotten there, and please don't log back in because you're gonna have
I'm so
that
scared.
baby.
Yeah.
I'm so scared.
You're gonna have that baby.
Have you played Hellblade, Flighty?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was like in my 2018 best games that I played
Yes. Actually.
video.
I think I watched you play
was my second game.
I think I actually came into you
Yeah.
playing it and going like, I know I want to play this, so I'm not going to watch. Did you watch the video afterwards?
Oh. Yes.
Oh, it made me appreciate it even
like-
more.
That game is so important to me. It's incredible.
Can't wait for the next one. Also says Cat Quest is a great indie game. I've heard of it.
I was just cats are my thing. If you have any indie games involving cats,
Get that furry thing then.
my
You need
jam.
that furry game. You know, the Dagon game.
I mean, clearly.
It's on discount on Steam right now. Anyway, JohnJohn, you've got some news.
Yes. So we've been working as a team to launch the Rainbow Arcade website, and it launched today. It actually launched while we were recording this podcast. So
Yay.
we shared the mock-up kind of with our members yesterday, so everyone could take a look at it and see. And it is live now. It's rainbowarcade.tv. You can go on there, and there's you can learn a little bit about what we are, what we've done so far, our projects with World Wildlife Australia, where we raised over 20,000 Australian dollars in the month of January as a team. We also did some stuff for Black History Month. We have an incredible video there from a bunch of Black content creators. We are doing the same thing for Women's History Month as well. And the wonder about that is that we do not have to be on the team to participate in these events. We just want to hear from content creators who experience this kind of so Women's History Month, we're looking at the cross section between women and being within the LGBTQIA plus community. So super awesome there. And our website finally launched, so I'm really proud of it. You can go on there and see who's on the team, and we'll have bios and stuff coming on there shortly. So you get to see kind of what we're about, what we've done so far, and who we are. And I'm really, really, really proud of it. It's gorgeous. So shout out to Mistoso for all the hard work he did for it.
I'm just looking now. Yeah, rainbowarcade.tv. If anybody's, I'm watching because they got this amazing front page where it's like some clips from everybody on the team and then moving across. It's yeah, I love it. So, family of LGBTQIA plus creators, streamers, content creators, and artists dedicated to inclusivity, amplifying positivity, and having fun in gaming and beyond. It's a wonderful site. Yeah. All right. So, well, Flighty, how do we find you?
So my name is there. That is for both Twitch and YouTube. I released a video this last week, and it is a demo of a horror game that will be coming out called Under, and it has a 100% legit jump scare in it, and I am so embarrassed, and I hope you enjoy it if you watch it. It's awful, and it's so embarrassing. If you want to find me on Twitter on the Hellbird site, it's ThatFlightyBroad. Let's be friends. Let's talk to each other.
Excellent. And so for people exactly who are maybe listening on the podcast because it's now going to be, it is available on Spotify and iTunes. That's ThatFlightyBroad. And John, how do we find you? I do have your real. You might have to explain that the zeros, the O's are zeros because it doesn't in the font that I put on the stream. I noticed that it doesn't quite look like that.
Yeah, I still want to petition Twitch to give me just straight JohnJohn, but I don't know that they will. Someone already has it, but they don't ever use it. On Twitch, it's J0HN, J0HNN, 2 N's there. That's the same for Instagram as well. And then on Twitter, it's the same, but there's an underscore between the 2 Johns.
Nice. All right. And when are you next streaming, JohnJohn?
In like an hour.
Hey,
I'll be live today, and then for a while, probably for the next couple of days, a mix between Ori and the Blind Forest, or no, not I lied to you, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and Stardew Valley.
And Flighty with your beautiful cat and your Scottish football team shirt.
You mad about it?
No, I live in Wales. It's British. Yeah, love it.
I usually stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This week is going to be different. I'm going to be streaming Monday and Thursday because on Tuesday I'm getting a root canal and I am so psyched about it.
Wow.
Because I have needed this root canal,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, since I have, for as long as I've known you, Ben. So.
That's. I remember. I've seen it on your. Yeah. Congratulations on getting it. I hope it's everything
Thank
you
you.
wish for.
I'm getting put to sleep for it. I'm gonna get so many great drugs. Like
Oh.
I'm so excited.
Nice.
I'm so glad morphine is a scheduled drug.
Fantastic.
And thank you to everybody in the chat. I've had some really, really good questions. We'll be back with Click Play next week, next Sunday. And I will be back streaming tomorrow from 4:00. Please stick around. We'll go and raid somebody. And thank you very much to everybody else. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you.
Love you guys.